Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy to God.
Hey,
Technical difficulties already, but hey,
already.
we're here. Appreciate you guys getting up early with us this morning. It is Monday, the 24th of August.
Man.
Coming right on up to the end of the month here. So, yeah, lots to talk about today, of course. And we want to find out what went down over the weekend. Lots of events, lots of things that happened, and lots of things that was in Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page today. So I definitely want to talk to you about that and many more things on this Monday. It's supposed to be kind of rainy today as well if you're in Omaha, Nebraska. So yeah, get ready for that. And yeah, that's kind of a news Monday. Time for us to kind of dig in a little bit, and then of course address the question about what makes teamwork.
Man.
What makes the team? What makes the team work in order to get to the dream? So we're definitely going to explore some of that, buddy. How you doing this morning?
Man, feeling a little tired, boss. Yeah. I'll be honest, a little tired. It's definitely last night, kind of burning the late night oil last night, but looking forward to today's conversation. Kind of carrying on from where we left off on Friday and really answering your question as far as what does teamwork look like? What does the dream working look like? So definitely looking forward to that. Not only looking back over the weekend, as you mentioned, definitely would love to hear what you got into over your weekend. But also looking forward throughout the week, as we like to do here on Monday, setting our intentions for the week, getting our mind right, waking up on here on this Monday, getting our head straight. So yeah, looking forward to today's conversation with all of you out there in the chat. Definitely let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. Let us know how you feeling. How was your weekend? Yeah. So all in all, let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, man. Another fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning happening now.
In the morning.
Yo, let's make it happen.
All I'll say is this: I talk to all legitimate reporters.
First Sky Omaha
in the morning. Once again, good morning. I see we got people in the chat already. What's happening, Pops?
Hey.
He says, good Monday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you. Marlon Harrison gives us a good morning, First Sky family. Happy motivational Monday. He's always motivated on Monday. I like it.
Man, love it.
Brother RG says, morning, y'all. Kimber Snipes in the chat. Good morning, y'all. Good morning to you. Michelle Moreno's up early. Good morning, everyone. Appreciate you guys getting up early with us this morning, man. It's really interesting when there's only one day that you got to get up really early. It's tough. Makes it way tougher.
You feel it.
Definitely feeling it this morning. But I also love getting up on Monday and getting things straight and getting going for the week. So hopefully you do too. Do us a favor. Tell a friend. If you're on YouTube, then do us a favor and go ahead and share that link so we can get it going. Hey, brother Andrew Norman's in the chat this morning. Good morning to you.
Hey, what's up? Man?
Got some things going on over there at the Bay. I see. We need to be talking about for real. Yeah, that's what's happening. If you're on Facebook, do us a favor, share the show on your page. Let's get as many people in the conversation as we can. Of course, again, like Buddy says, Monday is the day we kind of go through some news, some conversations, set some intentions, but we also like to talk about what went down over the weekend. Was there any events that you went to? We want to hear from you, the chat chimers. Any events, important things that happened? Did you have some fun? Was it a Love Supreme weekend? Let us know. Let us know about what went down. How about you, buddy? Let's start with you today.
Man,
how much can you talk about your weekend?
Man, I don't know. I don't really even know how much at liberty I am to talk about my weekend, man. Just feeling good. It's feeling good around a lot of good art. I'll say that. Like I'm around the Love Supreme, and Friday's episode was kind of definitely had my mind on that as far as where the arts is going. And we can get into that a little later on in today's episode as far as the heavy hitters, arts in the community, supporting the arts, what that means, what that looks like in other areas. But that's definitely where my mind is. Again, for those who know or don't know, I work down here. I live here in Atlanta. I work at Stankonia Studios. That's pretty much my weekends. Like throughout the week, I'm working on First Sky stuff. Managing kids and family. But throughout the weekends, I'm at the studio pretty much all weekend. And just being around the musicians that I'm around, seeing the art, the intention behind some of the art, some of the art that's going to be coming out pretty soon. Very excited about that. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Definitely feeling the love supreme. That's kind of where my weekend consists of, as far as the art and what it means, as far as, the impact that art can have on community, on our mindsets, especially with all the things going on now. That man, that charge, that recharge through art is kind of where I am. So again, self-care is definitely a part of, teamwork, making the dream work, finding that outlet, finding that expression, finding that lane. So yeah, that's kind of where my mind is, and feeling the same with brother Marlon Harrison. Just to kind of keep it moving along, I saw him over the weekend at the Bop over the on top, Bop to the Top event, getting all of his High School Musical joy in. So big shout out to Marlon, and shout out to all of y'all. Just getting out, living alive. Of course, there's still a lot of heavy hitters coming, so getting ready for that. But yeah, man, what's up? What's on your radar? How you living?
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking about the heavy hitter situation. We talked last Friday about the heavy hitters that are coming to town. Just to do a little recap of it, we got Tacos and Tequila Fest coming with Fat Joe, Pretty Ricky, Trina, and Paul Wall.
Mm-hmm.
Diggable Planets, man, come on,
Man,
celebrating 30 years of Blowout Comb. I can't even wait for that. Snarky Puppy's coming to town, man. Low End Theory is going to have Chief Ajua, which is incredible. Also, Chance the Rapper is going to be in town. Lupe Fiasco is going to be in town with Gym Class Heroes, and then Lenny Kravitz. So, we're talking big time. What we call the heavy hitters end of the year here in Omaha, Nebraska, and it just is reminding me about one of the reasons why we made the moves we did. You're in Atlanta.
mm-hmm.
It's heavy hitters over there all the time. You sitting in the room with heavy hitters. So
Man,
we kind of did a lot of that to make some connection to Omaha too, and to bring some heavy hitters to Omaha. Same thing with me and my LA connections and so on. So just thinking about how this is the way it is everywhere. One of our motivations for doing some of the things we did, and now we're in this era of Omaha kind of stepping up a little bit on that. All at the same time, it feels like it's really kind of all at the same time started going, oh, okay, big things happening. We got to get to what DJ Ejiki said too recently on his post, because he says there's big things coming, and when he says there's big things coming, he's talking about heavy hitters as well. So
man, big things.
yeah, so we'll have to dig into that, and I'm just I'm glad that it's not a thought. There's so many good shows and stuff coming up. I'm like, I don't got to travel somewhere to go see somebody, major. Like I get to see some majors. The majors come to Omaha, which puts Omaha on the map in a way. So yeah, just excited about that. Really seeing some quality shows. I'm still really, really high from what Noma did
Man,
over there with the Noma Fest.
come on.
Mohini Day and Mono Neon and Keon Harold and all those cats. It was something. It was really something. Let us know if you went to any of those shows, if you're planning on going to any of these shows too. We'll definitely love to hear about it. Just want to jump back in the chat real quick. RG says, man, look, my alarm for the gym goes off about 4:45, so 7:00 feels like a vacation. That is so, it's so funny, man. Like, you such my hero for that. I'm so far away from being able to get up at 4:45 in the morning to go to the gym, bro. That's just, that's almost, that's like, if it hurts my soul to even think about it.
Ouch.
Judy Princess gives a good morning. My church had the honor to have Mary Ewing. Had the honor to have Mary Ewing speak with us yesterday. Cool,
Nice.
that's what's up. Yeah, he's still making his rounds. Appreciate that, letting us know what happened over the weekend. Kimber says every Sunday a bunch of us go out to eat with our pastor, and he was sharing stories about the union organizing days and the KKK down in Georgia. Okay, here's some history. She said it was a good time. That's what's up. She says Donna Polk shares some great stories with me too. She said, Paul, you were right. We have to collect these stories. We have to. I actually talked to her last time I ran into Miss Polk, and talked to her about, we got to sit down and record some stories for sure. This oral histories that we're collecting I'm really looking for some more funding for that for this year, so I can really step that up. Because I've already missed a few people that I wanted to get some more stories from. People get older and pass away. So it's imperative that we do it now when we have the chance, and that needs to just be in the regular schedule. Just like talking to your grandparents should be regular, and getting the family history stories. So we're definitely going to step game up on that. That's definitely a lane of ours to do that as well. We're Buddy's a history buff, and we're we both have a legacy here in Omaha, so it's inevitable that we'll take our audio equipment and our our expertise and capture these audio and video equipment if they allow us,
Man.
and capture some of the older ones' stories so they don't go away. So that's where we're at on that, and we'll be presenting more of those types of things. We're breaking things down into programs that you might want to support and help, and we'll definitely break some of those things down and present it in the future so you can know exactly what we're working on. Heather Williams in the chat gives us a good morning, everyone. Also, Miss Erica Felt in the chat. Hey, good morning, friend.
Hey.
What's happening? Marlon Harrison says, I definitely had fun this weekend. I was definitely living alive with people and just letting loose.
Man, that's what it's about.
And
What's about, man?
Hey, when Marlon lets loose.
Get it! Get it, Marlon, get it!
Hey, consider the rug cut.
Consider the rug cut. Man, that little video makes me happy. I love it. Marlon Harrison letting loose. I love it. I love it. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody who joined us. Also, Kimber says Friday was supposed to be my day to do nothing, but I ended up having to organize around this budget amendment. We'll be talking some more about that. I saw the flyer that you put out there, so we'll definitely pull that and talk a little bit more about what's happening. We kind of did a little call to action in our newsletter on Friday too, the weekly wrap. If you received that, then you saw a little bit of that story and Kimber's call to action to call your city council member and ask why, whoever your city council member is, and also her call to don't make this out to be a versus situation, but be respectful and go through the channels and do the right thing. So I appreciate your approach, and we'll definitely talk about that a little bit more too. Marlon says my budget can't handle all these festivals and concerts. I might have to go to Tacos and Tequila because I love Trina and Pretty Ricky. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Miss Erica Phil says I'm working to get a balance. It's hard when you truly enjoy what you do for a living, but I know I need to be intentional about diversifying my interests. Okay,
I can feel that. Okay,
I hear that. Yeah. People say if you love what you do, you don't work a day, but you work at what you love as well. And that can be tiring. You got to have some balance for sure. I appreciate that. Kimber says Donald Polk has had show statewide in the 70s all about women, and it got shut down because she did a show on abortion. Did not know that. Ooh,
interesting
stories.
Man, it really is a lot of like that. Kind of deserves its own at least an hour of conversation as far as that part of storytelling. I was actually talking to a friend of mine over the weekend about that. My neighbors are centenarians. They're 100 years old, and it was learning about the silent generation. And in light of some of the things happening here nationally, especially here in the South, I'm kind of hearing more and more whispers and more conversations about people telling stories of encounters, feeling like they're being hunted. Talk about Black people feeling like there's these lynchings are increasing and these attacks are increasing and people being disappeared. And there's this real fear that's brewing up in the South. And, having those questions, again, Jim Crow was 100 years old, 100 years ago. And, you have what's called the silent generation, people who were born of that generation, whose parents knew that speaking up can mean death. So they were taught to be silent and getting those stories out of our elders and getting that perspective and, all that wisdom and just the reality of what they, endured is a huge, huge thing, especially, as we look forward and trying to survive Trump's America. And when Trump was born, I mean, he was 20 during the civil rights movement, in his 20s during the civil rights movement. So it is very interesting. The more things change, the more they stay the same and how much we can learn from our elders. So appreciate you for putting that, on our minds, Sister Kimber.
Yeah, for real. It's interesting too when you talk about the Trump effect and how a lot of people have been trying to compare him to Hitler, which means that we had a Hitler. We went through this. We still got people alive that went through it. We could talk to them people and figure out how they got through it. One of the things that I was saying at one point was I feel like we're in the time when a lot of the Jewish people that, kind of saw the writing on the wall and decided to get out now, move to America or move wherever else, get out right before things hit the fan over there. And I said often, I kind of feel like that, makes me wonder and, talk to some of the folks that did that. like, what did it look like now? Like what I want, how did it look? How did it look that made you decide that you better get out now before it got bad? How did you predict it was going to get as bad as it got?
Mm.
I struggle with that question and think about that a lot. And anytime I get a chance to talk to anybody who's been through it, I'll ask that question. But yeah, where else you going to get that information? We've been through everything under the sun. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So
Man.
who put the sunscreen on and survived through it? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
the next level. So and again, every time we say we lose the older one, we lose the whole library. Well, we got a chance to collect a lot of the books if we spend some time with them, have some conversations, and just easy as putting your iPhone down on the table and just recording them. So
Man.
that's something that I'm getting to be known for. Like, you recording this? Yeah, I'm recording this again. Just to let you know, and you'll forget about it in a few seconds, and we'll just be talking. So
Mhm.
but then we'll have it. So yeah, we got to do it, man. We all got to be historians in order to really understand what we're doing. So I appreciate you guys listening to our little diatribe on there. We're definitely going to keep it moving. Kimber also says she brought Jesse Jackson here too. We're really gonna have to talk
Man, okay.
for real. 90 Sessions gives us a good morning. Appreciate you coming on in. And also, RG says, if y'all are familiar with the name Jim Cornette, he likes to put the S in front of Hitler to describe Trump.
I see where you're going with that one. Okay.
It's a family show, RG. It's a family show.
Yeah.
With that, we're going to go ahead and jump into the thread today. We'll come back to some haps a little later and some more community outtakes. But let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to talk about. So, buddy, what's today's thread? What's going on?
Yeah, man, really picking up where we left off on Friday. Again, examining different aspects of this season's theme of teamwork makes the dream work, and looking at what is the team, how can the team come together, and what is the dream, what is it working look like. Again, I started off the season kind of posing this idea or ideal, if you will. About the dream being your ability to self-actualize, your ability to have some agency of your life, your ability to make decisions in your life, or have some direct connection to those decisions being made in your life. And of course, food is one part of it. That's how we started off. But on Friday, we talked about jobs. Again, shout out to Aaron Forte with powerful sister behind the scenes, behind the BAA, but not just the BAA, but some of the businesses surrounding the BAA, strong back movers, the security force, Sentinel force, which actually was pretty active over the weekend. I did see Brother Kasim posting as well, talking about some of the events that did go down over the weekend. The Pride event that went down at level. Of course, there were a couple other teen events, just a lot of things going on in the community. And of course, Aaron Forte, Brother Kasim, right there in the mix. So shout out to them, and carrying on with that conversation, that sentiment, that energy. Again, looking at the job market. That is one part of it. Of course, follow the money was one of the big themes that we followed, as far as not just what the government and how the government is spending and what the money is doing, but what about our own bottom line? What about our own pockets, especially and some of these hard times, economic hardships that we're seeing. How can we get through it together? How can we make sure we're all eating and taking care of each other as a team, as a community, and what does that look like? So we'll be expanding on that today. Of course, still want to dive into this attorney general lawsuit. Kind of expected this to come, but minimum wage, the city of Omaha electing to go forward with the minimum wage, and now the state is pushing back. And what does that mean? Of course, we'll be looking at some of the wins, also some of the skill up things going on, kind of carrying on with the point that Paul made on Friday with the Black Power developers in their training program. We got to train ourselves within our community. Each one teach one is a mentality. So definitely looking at that. Some of the jobs are available in the community. Shout out to Brighten Our Future. Shout out to Heart Ministry Center doing some things. But also looking at what's going on. There's more updates with the whole school situation. Glove is now finding its way into, still remaining actually in other school districts, other jurisdictions. So definitely have to talk about that situation, updating on that. I'm sorry?
I say even in OPS.
Still in.
It's not done.
Yep, and parents are speaking out in other districts now. So definitely want to, have their voices be heard as well. But also looking at looking forward at setting our intentions. There's actually some call to actions in regards to the city budget. and city council meeting tomorrow. So we'll be diving into that. And then also, I do want to expand our view in some solutions journalism as far as what's going on around the nation. Of course, we're still, highlighting, and I definitely want to amplify what's going on in Gary, Indiana. Not enough being, reported on that situation. Shout out to some of the influencers, community members, organizations that are stepping up in that situation. Kind of examining, is this what teamwork making the dream work looks like, especially in the face of disaster like the storms that swept through the Midwest. Again, Ohio, Indiana, kind of getting the brunt of it. So looking at that, and also getting into some Love Supreme later on. Of course, we are here for 3 hours now on our Monday, so expanding some of those conversations. A shout out to brother DJ Ejiki, get Ejiki with it, and the call to action that he's putting out there, getting people to get more active. Of course, is one thing to work, but we got to play as well. So again, what is the art scene looking like, and how can we help that situation? So getting into all that and more. Of course, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not touching on, definitely feel free to drop that into the chat. Let your minds be free. Let your voices be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B. Moving along, man. What's the word?
Yeah, man. Let's move it along. 7:21 right now. If you believe in the concept of time and you live in Omaha, Nebraska, it's supposed to be kind of a rainy day today. So watch out for that. A little bit cooler, but also a little bit wet. And you know what that means. Drive slower on the roads, please.
Man.
Tired of swerving around y'all all the time. Tired, boss. It is Monday, the 24th of August. We'll take a quick break and jump into the stories. Thanks for joining us. Again, tell a friend, spread the word. Give somebody the link. Let them come in and have some of this conversation with us. Shout out to all the chat chimers. We'll be right back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy to God.
Hey.
Welcome back. First Guy Omaha in the morning. Paul B, buddy to God. Every time I hear this track or any tracks like this, I think of that Cosby Show episode where Denise's boyfriend was sitting on the couch listening to reggae. Remember that?
Kick back.
I said, man. He was going off.
Right near the beach.
Welcome back. Appreciate you guys joining us and getting up early with us again on this Monday, the 24th of August. We're going to go ahead and jump into some things. First of all, I put a couple flyers up during the break. If you can see what's going on there, just want to give a shout out to some more heavy hitters. We keep on leaving out. Pieces of a Dream is going to be in town. Shout out to Love 'em dinner, the Linden party that they're putting on. I can't wait to see what's going on here. And also they got their jazz festival coming up too with Eric Darius. So the Labor Day weekend is coming up. There are some events coming up on Labor Day weekend that we're going to talk about. For sure. We'll talk about a little bit later on in the show. But what are your plans for Labor Day weekend? Keep forgetting about those kinds of holidays on my end. I know that's coming up next week, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You got plans? You got plans to travel? You got plans to do something?
Next week.
Love to hear about that too. Yep. With that, we'll go ahead and jump into the conversation, buddy. What's first on the agenda?
Well, of course, like to start off with the wins, just highlighting community events, community happenings, things that we like to see more of in the community. So again, man, I got a few wins to kick off today's show and get into really the thread of today as far as, jobby jobs, economic development, economic freedom, and us teaming up together, training each other up to reach that next level. Each one teach one. But actually, before we get into the threads or the wins I had planned for today, this is one that just popped up in my mind. This is one I saw over the weekend, and I want to give a shout out to the brother from OTB, man. I don't know if you saw, of course, one of the biggest wins we've been talking about, identity prep opening its doors. The girls, man, getting welcomed into the halls and getting their education, but not just getting their education, getting their nutrition as well, man. Shout out to the brother from OTB, making good on his promise to help. I think he's giving like a free meal once a week, catered meal to those girls once a week. I saw them eating good, man. They had yams and greens, and hey, man, remind me of my days back in Charlotte in the South eating. Had grandma in the kitchen cooking. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, big shout out, man. It does make a difference to get some good nutritious meals and food throughout your learning experience, man. So definitely a win. That's definitely teamwork making the dream work. As far as again, not just everybody supporting Dr. D and what's going on with identity prep, but the community, local businesses stepping up to offer a helping hand as well. That is definitely teamwork making the dream work. But again, local businesses aren't just stopping there helping to feed each other, but they're also helping to train each other. A big shout out to Sister Raquel giving a post and giving an update on the whole skill up situation. Of course, we've been talking about Step Up with the Empowerment Network and the hundreds of kids that they train every summer, which I think that is expanding, supposed to be expanding to a year-long situation. So definitely excited about that. Would actually love to get involved if anybody with the Empowerment Network is, listening, holla at us. But Scale Up, again, is a similar program that's dealing with adults. Again, giving adults some of the skills, as the name intends, some of the skills to get jobs and to get placement and to get some economic freedom and some economic development in their lives. So again, it can be a little daunting not having the skills, not having the resources to go back to school, to even afford some of the trainings and things that are available out there. So big shout out to those types of endeavors, and also following the lead, our lead, or kind of taking a page out of our book as far as that pipeline, which again, something we talked about on Friday. Shout out to Black Power developers. We'll be talking about their training program again a little later on in the show. But just the idea of each one teach one community coming together and training up and building that pipeline. I mean, we've been talking about the prison to preschool pipeline, but that's not the only pipeline we can create in our communities, man. We can do for the positive as well. So big shout out to the Empowerment Network, all the businesses that are involved with that. Would definitely love to hear if anybody is either a business involved with it or an individual or knows an individual that has been involved with it. Would definitely love to get some anecdotes. And actually, speaking of that, shout out to one of our content creators who are looking at, maybe covering some of these stories. So again, if you know anybody who's either a part of Skill Up or Step Up, reach out. Would definitely love to hear their stories.
Yeah, actually got a chance to speak to Willie Barney a little while ago, and we're definitely going to be interviewing some of the folks that have been part of this. But we'd love to get some stories, some personal stories from you guys as well. Also, shout out to Raquel Henderson over at the mayor's office. She's been a huge part of this as well, and she made some posts that I thought were really interesting. The one, well, first of all, the first one that she did was talking about the cohort that was happening the night of. She says she said tonight cohort 3 completed 2 intense weeks of Skill Up programming and officially graduated into the next phase of their journey. And then she went on. You'll have to read the rest of it at Friends of First Sky Omaha. But she went on to talk about exactly what they went through and how she feels about it. And then, of course, this later post, she says, "I'm incredibly proud of my Skill Up family. Watching them step into new rooms, experience new spaces, and put themselves in the presence of leaders and change makers means so much to me." Shout out to Raquel Henderson. If you don't know, she works in the mayor's office. She's a liaison to North Omaha, and so she's been a big part of this. And I really love what they got going because of the fact that it's family support. We talk about this on the show all the time.
Man.
We first look and see, as adults, we make sure the kids is right. What's going on with the kids? And they need some help. We get that together. And they put together the Step Up program. And there's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids that have gone through the Step Up program, getting summer jobs, and getting sent off into areas of their career and finding some mentorship and some help in all of that. As a matter of fact, the Step Up program, I believe, helps small businesses even pay for the work that these kids are doing. So it helps. They're not just helping the kids; they're helping small business. They're helping the economy. they're helping a lot. We personally went to Empowerment Network show and saw 600 kids sitting in the room from the Step Up program. So we know that it's been very effective, and there's been a lot of kids that have been involved here. But they took it a step further. They were like, well, it's not, well, it's just like how we say all the time. It's not just saving the kids, but the family needs support. If a kid is going to get supported, it's because their family supported as well. So to start this whole new program called Skill Up, where you're already working, but you want to get your skills up and get to the next level, make more money, it's genius. And I'm really impressed by what it is they're doing. And I can't wait to see the numbers there and who's getting helped and talk to some folks and get some anecdotes on how they've been helped. So I really appreciate this. I do consider it a win every time I see anything with it. And then shout out to Raquel Henderson, who is really about it. I mean, if you know her history, her history with helping people get jobs and get into positions and so on and so forth. For her to put her, for her to get behind this is as hard as she is. She's over there on the left. You can see her. She's behind Skill Up big time, and I really love the way that she expressed how she felt about it. So shout out to her. And these to me are some programs to support if you want to try to help what's going on in North Omaha, for real.
Yeah, and I find it no coincidence that Sister Raquel is in the mix of a lot of the stuff we're talking about. I mean, she's right there, right next to Dr. D, for identity prep. She's obviously right there in the mix of Skill Up. So, quietly making some things happen behind the scenes. Again, not a very, very in-your-face sister, but very loud on the work that she's doing. So, again, big shout out to that sister making it happen.
And in this season of teamwork makes the dream work. First of all, she's making the dream work. And she's working with several really good teams when you think about that. Empowerment Network, Skill Up, the team at the mayor's office that we're going to get deeper into this season as well. More access to the mayor's office to find out what's going on with their team and how their team works. And then, of course, the identity prep school team, all the people on that team that had to get busy to make that happen. So already, to me, it's like he's our idol on how many, which teams you need to team up with to really get something done, to really make a dream work. It's not just one team. You can be on several teams and try to tie those teams together and make things happen. So love it.
Big time.
Loving it. We'll move on from there. I appreciate everybody who's jumped into the chat. I'm seeing RG in the chat saying shout out to Robert Wagner. Dude is taking a crew out to Gary to help. Man,
yeah.
Know that.
We'll be talking about that in the second hour.
I have to check in with him on that as well and talk about it a little bit later. Alan Faison in the chat. Good morning, First Guy. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming on in. Also, Sean McCarthy gives us a good morning. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Appreciate that. Naomi Henderson Chambers in the chat. Good morning. Appreciate you coming in this morning. Also, Miss Erica Fell says, be mindful that some people want to help because it's right to do. Others promote that they can help so they can get funding. Yep. Got to remember that. As far
benevolent illusion.
Benevolent illusion, indeed. But as long as people are getting helped, what your motivation is your business. As long as you help. So all I want to see. She says, watch their history to decide if you want to participate in their future. For sure, though.
I like
right about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys, that's a bar right there. Miss Erica.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
From the West Coast, I know it. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and move on to the next subject. It's 7:33 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, buddy, what's next on the agenda?
Man, looking back, kind of covering up and updating on the story that we've been looking at, for the last few weeks. Just kind of giving an update on this situation as far as the glove situation. So to pivot a little bit before we dive into today's thread for the next 3 hours, RG. But again, big shout out to those who are stepping up, who are having their voices heard. That is something that we definitely want here from this platform and beyond, just to have your voices heard, to exercise your right to have your voices heard. And again, it's not just stopping with those who stepped up last week as far as the glove situation, showing up to the school board meeting, but now parents in other communities are stepping up and speaking out as far as, again, the reality that the fight is not over, although OPS and OPD have come to an agreement electing to remove gloves, or deglove, which is again an acronym for the actual device, out of schools where and again, it's very nuanced, but OPD officers are resource officers, but there's still several other school districts, several other areas that still have this issue, namely Bellevue Police Department, which KMTV3 is reporting on. Says that they will keep shot gloves in Omaha public schools. So even after, again, parents came out to the board meeting and spoke out, had their voices heard. Even school board members also echo concern. Looks like the Bellevue Police is not really taking the lead of the Omaha Police, and that they're going to do what they do. Again, this is from KMTV3. Bellevue Police will keep shot gloves in 2 Omaha public schools, again, despite district's request to remove them. This is according to Police Chief Bellevue Police Chief Ken Clary, who addressed the decision last week, saying, "I'm not comfortable having our officers give up a tool that has repeatedly proven to be safe, effective, and less harmful than alternatives." OPS also asked all departments that provide on campus officers, Bellevue Police Department, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and the Omaha Police Department. So it is interesting to see where the Douglas County Sheriff's Office plays a part in this. You know, take from that what you will. But again, all of those agencies have been asked to remove gloves, and yet only one so far has elected to do so. The controversy stems, of course, from 2 specific incidents where students, again, were shocked by these gloves. And one was actually a middle school student at an integrated learning center, and another was a high school student at South. So again, getting more information about those situations. But again, it's not just OPS. There are also resource officers in Westside, Millard, and Elkhorn school districts, where some parents are now starting to speak out about those districts and saying that they want to see similar actions. Again, with the removal of those situations. Again. And this actually coming out of also KMTV3 as far as these parents, 3 parents in particular with children in those schools districts met to discuss with the presence of shot gloves with Channel 3. One of their journalists, Jeremy Frederick, spoke with Miller parents, West Side parents, and a parent also from Miller schools, and saying, if my child was getting in trouble at school, I would want them to care about my child and want to find a solution for the behavior, not shocker. I don't think kids can learn in an environment where their fight or flight response is on 24/7 either. Again, talking about the mental state of some of these youth that are getting these gloves used on them. So again, this fight is still ongoing. There's still a lot of question about, how it kind of sneaked its way into OPS and what else is also going on. There's actually a city council meeting tomorrow in which there will be a live reading on some of those contracts for resource officers. Again, that contract between OPS and OPD that is on the city council budget. So if you want to hear, some details of that contract or maybe speak against that contract, this will be an opportunity. I know a school board member, Bree Fool, on this show, in this chat, said that she would be open to, if this continues or there's, more questions about OPS policy or OPD policy in OPS schools, she will be open to going away from this contract. So it is interesting. Definitely would love, for people who are inspired by this issue to pull up tomorrow. Again, Omaha City Council, one of the agendas or one of the items on the agenda of that meeting, again, is to overview these contracts between, again, OPS and OPD for these resource officers.
There you go. RG in the chat is saying District 66 is having their school board meeting this evening at 6.
Man, thank you.
To believe the glove will be up for discussion. So if you're in that district, then understand that your meeting is happening now. You need to go ahead and get down and talk about it if that's what you feel like doing. Appreciate that very much. And yeah, so thanks for that information. We'll definitely jump in and spread it around. Get people down there to say what they got to say. So just a little update there on the glove situation that has been permeating all of news here in Omaha for the last week or so. Just find it interesting that even after some deals were made with certain police departments, other ones was like, yeah, we're gonna still do what we want to do. All right, we'll definitely
pretty much.
We see William King in the chat. He says, what about the One Omaha funding? Is that party agenda tomorrow? So speaking of the city council meeting, this is definitely something that we want to take a look at as well. So shout out to Kimra Snipes. You just put this flyer out recently too on that subject that we've been talking about the last few days as well, when it comes to the funding that got moved, $40,000 that got moved from one organization to another by a city council member, Lavanya Goodwin. So what she's been doing is saying, hey, number one, let's remember that we're all going to be respectful to each other and just ask questions and get the right questions asked. Call your city council member and find out why this has happened. If why One Omaha was singled out. If you don't remember the situation or haven't heard about it yet, there was an amendment to a mayor's some money that the mayor set aside from One Omaha. One of the Lavanya Goodwin, city council member Lavanya Goodwin, put some respect on her name, decided to put an amendment in that requested the money be taken away from One Omaha and given to Land Bank for the Midlands. I always get that wrong.
Something along those lines. But yes, a statewide land bank.
It brings up
or not food bank, not land bank.
Yeah, there you go. Brings up some questions a little bit about why that happened, why they were particularly singled out. Does that happen? Of course, Kimber did some research and found out that other times they try to make appropriations for money or how they move it around. It's not from any specific organization. She's wondering why. She wants us to ask our city council people: is there some performance issues with One Omaha? What's the reason why One Omaha got singled out? So here's some information here. Of course, this is in Friends of First Sky Omaha as well. But her flyer is about let's invest in our neighborhoods. Contact city councils to support $40,000 for the mayor's neighborhood grant support. That was what the mayor set aside for One Omaha out of this mayor's neighborhood grant. And so we wanted to kind of understand why this money was, why there was an amendment put out to move that money, and why they think that it's a good idea to do that when it was earmarked for One Omaha. So some questions there. That's what Brother William King is in the chat talking about, and of course we talked about this extensively on Friday. Kimber Snipes came on to the chat and gave us some information, and we kept talking about it. And like we said, over the weekend, on the weekly wrap newsletter, we definitely put that information in there for you to contact your city council member and ask some questions, and also what questions to ask. And again, she wants to reiterate that this is not One Omaha versus this food bank or anybody in city council or anything like that. And also, however you feel about it, let's go through the proper channels and protocols to be able to contact our city council member and ask some intelligent questions, not lash out. Everything we need to keep on just putting it in our minds that we're here on a mission to have some togetherness here. So even when we disagree, there's a way to be so that we can continue to be a team in the future. And there's no call for anybody to get cussed out or anything like that. Let's ask some intelligent questions and try to get down to the bottom of what's happening, and then get to the point of moving on to continue to help invest in organizations like One Omaha that is investing in our neighborhoods so heavily with people that are so passionate about it. Miss Kimber Snipes in particular. So appreciate that, and I appreciate you bringing that back up, Brother King. He says, I'll be in Atlanta. I'm launching a revolutionary new music product at 2 music festivals, September 3rd through the 7th. Ooh, gotta have you on the show. We'll talk about that, bro.
Yeah, I think you pulling up to the DJ Summit. Let me know. Reach out. Let's connect, brother. Let's connect.
That's what's up. Appreciate that. Ariel's 402 says, hit the like button. Please do that. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Do all that stuff if you're on YouTube, especially. And again, if you're on Facebook, do us a favor and share the show on your page. Very easy thing to do on Facebook. Appreciate that. Brother King says 95.7 The Boss is watching, and we are on God's team. Okay.
Hey.
Excuse me.
Thanks for bossing with us.
Appreciate you, man. We're going to take a quick break and come on back to the conversation. Again, you're listening to First Scott. Oh, go ahead.
Just real quick before we cut to break, the brother asked the question. I did want to answer it. In short, yes, there are some on tomorrow's city council agenda to Brother King's question about some of the budget proposals and changes. That is also on the agenda. So yes, to answer your question.
Got it. All right, we'll take a quick break. Come right back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God.
Hey.
We awake, but we really need to wake up.
I'm tired, boss.
Tired, boss.
Wake up. Yeah. Wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. You better wake up from this dream. Life is not what it seems. This culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we lose in the drugging and boozing is keeping us off from our greatness. We gotta spread the love and stop hating. Then rearrange these front pages. From murder and death to building our wealth. Removing the stealth. Milking the game till there's nothing left. And teaching my people to love themselves. I'm crashing on competition. That's an interference with the commission. Man, we tired of listening, so we said enough. Unification amongst us. Wake up, 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 wake up.
Woo, welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. All be, buddy to God.
Hey.
I wonder when I'm gonna slip up and say First Sky Omaha in the evening, in the morning.
All mixed up.
All mixed up all the time. Support. Shout out to Michelle Moreno. Appreciate you. Thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate you, Brother King. Yeah, we definitely have to have you on the show, man. Hear about what you got going on there for real.
Yeah, I see you out there in Kansas City. I see you.
Speaking of teamwork, we will definitely dive in this season a little bit more about the teamwork between the media companies.
Yeah,
interesting, man. I'm writing a grant right now. And one of the questions is, what other organizations, other organizations are in the same kind of realm? And I got a chance to be like, oh, well, there's a few of us out here trying to do some work. Shout out to Sherman Wells. Shout out to Bill King. Yeah, man. DJ Mr. Soul coming up. 87.9. Definitely check 87.9 out for real. The culture.
Man.
He's politicking with P over there even. so they having some real conversations. I appreciate that. Also, I got Michael Scott reached out yesterday as well, talking about that he met the camp, Lynn Walls's camp over there. So yeah, and we got a little video that we're working on right now, a visit that she did in a home, and talk about some of the things that she's on. Lynn Walls, if you don't know, she's running for governor this year, and this is coming up. Get her on the ballot in November, very, very soon. And we talk about this
around the corner.
We talk about Pillen all the time. We talk about what's going on with who's running against, who's the sixth to dismiss. And so we don't really talk too much about Lynn Walls. We need to, because she's really coming up in the game big time. So watch for the video drop, and then watch for having her on the show too soon, and have some conversations and get your questions ready for somebody who might be the new governor. Wouldn't that be nice? Yep.
Would be.
With that, it is 7:46 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're in the first hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning. Diving into some news and some stories. Shout out to everybody who's put news and stories in Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page on Facebook. And shout out to everyone who sends us emails as well at firstsky.omaha@gmail.com with ideas and tips and all kinds of things like that too. We're kind of working on a little thing here where it make it easier for people who have some stories to be able to let us know this is something we need to be digging into and looking into. And then also what's on my mind is a shout out to the news partners out there that we pull stories, we pull their stories and talk about them. So the Chris Bowlings over at Flatwater Free Press, and the Cindy Gonzalez over at Nebraska Examiner. We feel that we're in the ecosystem with them as well. Matter of fact, sometimes when we talk to you, the Chad Chimers, we're talking more about the articles that they wrote than they do. So this is a public discussion about some of the things that they wrote, and so we wouldn't be able to do it without these reporters everywhere, even at Channel 7, and even at other entities that we wouldn't consider ourselves partners of. Shout out to the work that the reporters are doing over there on Channel 7 when they can get the stories through that they want to get through, and when they do a good job on them, we definitely highlight that. So. Just on my mind right now to shout out everybody in the ecosystem of bringing information, making us a more informed community, which is what we need, especially in a season where we better make some decisions on who's going to be in these political seats coming up in November. Big
man. Teamwork making the dream work, man. Kind of dropped the word on Friday, but it's all about harmony. It's all about how does this thing work together? How does each gear, come together to make the machine? Like how does team really work to make the dream work? So appreciate that sentiment there, Paul.
Right on. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What's next on the agenda, buddy?
Yeah, man. Moving right along. Of course, we ended last segment before the break talking about the city council meeting. So definitely make sure we're still setting our intentions for this week and pulling up to that. But also, my mind is with the mayor's office, not just his budget, which is one of the heavy agenda items on tomorrow's city council meeting, but this lawsuit that now of the city of Omaha and Mayor Ewing has to deal with at the state level. Again, Nebraska Attorney General is suing the city of Omaha for this minimum wage move, which is interesting because I will say, recognizing the political waters that have to be navigated, it's not easy. It's not easy, but again, still sticking to my early I guess vision or just kind of perspective of what Mayor Ewing's tenure will kind of be about as far as economic development and police reform. And of course, there's a lot of conversation about the new headquarters going down. But as far as economic development, there's more conversation need to be had about that as well. Very interesting. Again, Mayor Ewing making the move to follow in the footsteps of Lincoln to push for this minimum wage. Again, if you don't know, there was a minimum wage bill that was passed at the state level, but it created basically a teen minimum wage, where teens would not get the $15 minimum wage that was set by voters, but actually get like a $13.50 minimum wage. And again, Mayor Ewing and Lincoln elected to get rid of that. And now, as I mentioned, Nebraska Attorney General, as reported by Nebraska Examiner, Mike Hilgers on Tuesday announced he is suing the city of Omaha to enforce a minimum wage law. The lawsuit again follows one against Lincoln, which is still ongoing. Hilger's office argues that the state's two largest cities are seeking a power grab, which is interesting because, as far as we know, the city of Omaha and I believe Lincoln do have the power. It's called home rule. They actually do have the power to kind of chart their own paths. So it is interesting that language is being used in this lawsuit. Again, power grab after a supermajority of state lawmakers again set a growth rate, which is a pathway for the minimum wage to grow. And said employers may pay 14 to 15-year-old workers $13.50, which is again down from the $15 minimum wage. Saying our Constitution does not permit the city of Omaha to repeal any portion of statewide law passed by the legislatures. Again, the local ordinance seek to maintain the 2022 voter approved annual adjustment, which again pays all workers, regardless of age, $15. And that $1.30, we all know that $1.30 or $1.50 or so can go a long way. After you start racking up the hours, that can be a few $100s on your paycheck, which could mean some food, some school clothes, something that can actually help with the household for our young folks. So it is very interesting, this situation. And as I mentioned, just paying attention to how Mayor Ewing navigates development, economic development, community investment, his budget again, which is a big point of contention and just conversation in these upcoming board meetings or council meetings. But yeah, here we are with this lawsuit, and we'll see how Mayor Ewing responds.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. A lot of people, of course, we get a lot of our news from social media, and there's a lot of one or two liners out there about we. In the meantime, Hilgers is suing so that people can't get a couple more dollars on their check, which is pretty crazy. I also think that the significance of $15 as opposed to $13 or whatever it was is just what you tend to in your job field, in your job history, you tend to move up from where you're at. So a lot of times when you hit that $15 level, then you go, okay, well, the next job I take is not, it better not be less than that. It can't be less than that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just the $1.50 or $2 or whatever difference that it can make for your school clothes and stuff like that, but it's also thinking about the fact that you're beginning your career and you're kind of setting some precedents about what it is that you're gonna even think to yourself you're allowed to be paid, and then the kind of message that it sends that you're less than, and in this day and age, which is really kind of crazy because it's never like they're picturing these two family homes, this mother and this father that are doing well economically and don't really have to send their kid to work. I mean, how many more family situations are different than that? How many single family homes are there? How many
Man,
and even in dual family homes, the climate for finances right now is so crazy. Everybody sometimes needs to help out, and you won't be able to do certain things unless you've got some kind of job. So it's just interesting that it was already interesting that he's expended the energy trying to fight this in the first place. Give, give, give to fight for someone to be able to make enough money that it's still not enough money is crazy to me. Like it's not a living wage. $15 an hour is not a living wage. You're gonna expend some energy fighting to hold back a couple bucks from that from what's already not enough. So it sounds crazy to me. And then now we got to go through actual, money being spent in litigation over suing the state, suing the city. It's just
Man,
incredible. It's incredible. You got nothing better to do. There's not other problems. There's not other problems out here. You got nothing better to do but to. It makes me wonder, like, where would you even get a situation like that? Like, where would you even get, uh, where would you even get a where do you get the idea that this is a good idea? Are business owners coming to you saying, "Hey, I can't afford that extra $1.30. You better fight for this"? I'm not sure where it comes from.
I mean, kind of. That's the interesting part of this. Kind of. If you remember, one of the main voices in this situation is State Senator Jane Raybould, who is the owner of that grocery store chain, and she's definitely saying, "Hey, I don't want to be paying minimum wage," basically.
Right. Kind of crazy.
Right, going right along with kind of the vibe that Marlon is saying in chat. He says these Republicans want their CEOs to stay rich. That's why they're against increasing minimum wage. And again, State Senator Jane Raybould, who wants to lock future increases to the state minimum wage of 1.75%. And just interesting the intention behind some of these moves.
There you go. Mr. Sickerfeld says, if your business can't sustain a living wage, then you don't have a sound business model. I can afford one part-time employee and considerably more than minimum wage. This is my sustainable business model. Yeah, I feel that. A small business, struggle to get one employee even, but that's also because we're not trying to, nickel and dime that employee. We're trying to give them something that they can use. She says, I hustled as a child because I was too young to legally work and needed some school clothes. Didn't we all?
Man.
Didn't we all?
Man.
Sherman Wells, exactly, Paul. Appreciate it. Anthony Rogers Wright making it a point that to talk about that it was a Democrat, Jane Raybould, as Buddy was just talking about, who created this situation to subvert the will of the people on minimum wage to save money for her supermarket chain. Don't forget that point.
I'm saying
We full of minimum wage folks, and she said, he says, this is what we mean by uniparty. Yeah, there's some things that they are absolutely getting together on. That's one of them. That was very unfortunate. Marlon Harrison says some of these people are so out of touch with society. I know teens that work after school to help pay bills and save up for their first car.
I'm saying, man, and it might not be the gas bill or the light bill, but hey, a phone bill, internet bill, those types of things often do fall on the shoulder of a teen. School clothes, like
Food.
Food, right. We just talked about some of these school giveaways and how much it can cost for haircuts. I mean, we're talking if you have a family of 3, 4, 5 children, you're talking about hundreds of dollars in just haircuts, hundreds of dollars in shoes, hundreds of dollars in, that's money that families don't have.
And with hair, it grows back, so they got to get it again.
Man.
It was me. I just said, y'all get one haircut this year. That's it.
Hey, you see what I did? I grew my hair out. Hey.
Let the fro go.
And the whole family is locked up. Believe that.
Yeah, okay.
Method to the madness. It's a method to the madness. I'm just saying. I'm not out of touch, Marlon. I know.
Yeah, there it is. Buddy Africa making it happen with the family.
Buddy Bombada.
Oh man, there you go. Miss Sickerfeld, she needs to scale back the business for real. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Appreciate you.
Hey.
Good morning. Sherman Wells says all the money that the United States have, we spending money to go against paying them money, but we spend money to buy gloves to shock them. We spend money to lock them up. Shake my head, man. You ain't lying, bro. We got to save that minimum wage. We got to save them $2 so we can buy some shock gloves when they broke and acting a fool.
It is very interesting, man. Just it's not. I mean, I guess it makes sense when you put in like, is this the intended outcome? Like, do they really want us to, protest and not be able to work for ourselves so we can end up behind bars working for free in some private prison? Like, is that really? It just seems like the intention behind all the policy. That's where it's leading us, and just leading us. high and dry, because on one end of the spectrum there's jobs that barely pay a minimum wage, that barely even pay you enough to afford, so what's the use of taking the job that you can't even afford? But at the same time, you need a job to get things like Medicaid. Again, Nebraska being the first state, as we kind of touched on Friday, but definitely would love to reiterate for those who have questions or find themselves in this situation. This reported by Flatwater Free Press. Shout out. But reminding us that Nebraska, being the first state in the nation to jump, I mean, just gladly jump on these requirements for Medicaid. Again, ahead of the deadline nationally for federal Medicaid. But again, just to remind you, some of the hurdles that people have to jump through in order to get just some inkling of help. Again, Nebraska's Medicaid work requirements, which actually went into effect in May, so we're a few months into this thing, applied to roughly 70,000 Nebraskans who are in Medicaid expansion population, ages 19 to 64. So a huge swath of Nebraskans who earn up to 138% of the federal poverty level, or about $22,000 for a single adult, which so a lot of us out there are earning around that. But some of those requirements, again, spend at least 80 hours per month in school, working, participating in a work program, or volunteering. Alternatively, also earn at least $580 per month, which is the equivalent of 80 hours of work, making the federal minimum wage, which is interesting. Again, the minimum wage is tied to this. Meet those work hours or wage requirements for only 1 month out of the previous 12 months. In 2027, that will change to every 6 months as recipients will need to review every year. So more hurdles, more paternalism for those who just need help. And it is interesting that, at the same time where it's harder to find a job that will actually sustain life, there's these job requirements for life sustaining assistance with the Medicaid. So again, just a lot of people find themselves between a rock and a hard place. And again, it feels like that's intentional.
It does. I highly suggest you check this article out. Flatwater Free Press did a good job on this. I put the link in the chat. Questions remain unanswered as Medicaid work changes take effect. It's definitely something to look into. We know a lot of folks in our community, especially, are dependent on Medicaid, and remember, we were even before the Trump administration suggested that these states do this. Our state jumped the gun and did it on our own because just how eager we are to have the world that they envision.
It really.
Mhm.
I'm just thinking of Miss Erica Felt in this. Like, I really wanted to. Her story really illustrates the reality of this, as far as, again, 80 hours for work. But again, Sister Erica Felt had her battle with cancer.
Mhm.
A situation where she would need something like Medicaid, Medicare, some kind of medical assistance to afford chemo, to afford medication, to afford, but she couldn't work because she was so sick. And so so again, the most vulnerable people are actually finding themselves between the rock and the hard place. Those dealing with cancer, those dealing with mental disabilities, those dealing with emotional disabilities. I mean, just
Elderly.
Right. People being stuck, not getting, the $580 income threshold because they only make $500 from their Social Security. I mean, this is a reality for many Americans. So yes, teamwork is the only way the dream is going to work.
Yeah. And then at the same time, when she's struggling, her son needs to go get a job, but he can't make a full $15. She says,
Man.
when I had cancer, Boogie was a junior. He worked and paid for his transportation to school plus personal hygiene and supplies. So now she's down, and her teen son, has to go to work. Then he got to deal with that. Wanda Lewis says, remember, the schools wasn't that fond of locks and braids. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Well, yeah. Got a point. But that's just par for the course for us. We got to defend our own natural hair, which is real crazy. Shout out to Terrell McKinney, who that was the first bill he passed. There you go. Also, RG in the chat says, not just the Republicans. I believe Raybould is a Democrat. Yeah,
man.
Actually, Rogers Wright brought that point out. Yeah, of course. This is definitely it was definitely a messed up situation. When it comes to economics, man, there's the two parties look a lot alike, a lot of times. So appreciate that. It's 8:03 right now. We're now in the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
8:03, if you believe in the concept of time, that is. And we definitely got some more stories and some more things to jump through. We'll take a quick break. But before we get to the break, something triggered me lately, just right now. We were just talking about this, a thought about The Wire. Are you guys familiar? Are you
Hey.
guys fans of The Wire? The
Okay.
Wire is considered one of the greatest TV shows of all time. I pretty much go through it every couple years. One of the highlights that stands out for me is the way that they have broken down the lanes. Each season pretty much is a lane. So there was a lot of the drug trade in the first season, corner boys and so on and so forth, and law enforcement, how they interact. Second season was more about the political scene, the lane of politics, and how corrupt and things was happening in that season. Just how it works on the whole. You started to get a impression on the second season. Oh, this is a bigger picture we're talking about here. The third season, of course, went back to it, they broke it down in like they we wanted to see the lane of politics, the lane of media, the lane of school. I think the third season was about school, the kids in school, this preschool to prison pipeline, and it was really cool that it laid out like that. Lately, I've been doing a little bit of studying and listening to some podcasts on season two, which kind of threw everybody off because it was a little bit about dock workers. They kind of switched from the streets all the way to some white families that were on the docks and also mixed up in some nefarious behavior and so on and so forth. And it's really kind of apparent now in retrospect that they were talking about systems and how systems affect any group of people, any group of people that are out there. Those dock workers were not seeing a future for themselves and their kids with the work that they've been doing for generations, and started reverting to doing some crimes in order to keep that money up, in order to keep things going. They did it out of suffering, and it was really genius that they did that because they could very well have been pigeonholed into the stereotype of a drug police drama, like how the first season looked. But then they really kind of exploded with this idea of okay, there's more to it. It's not just people deciding they want to sell and use drugs and the cops that are going to try to knock them down. Oh, there's more to it. The cops are acting this way because the politicians are corrupt and doing some things here, it's not just in the hood. It's in any community that is struggling and having a hard time surviving. They resort to some things. It's like a huge game. And then they went on to how this starts in school. Then they went on to how the media, the propaganda of the media makes it so that it looks like the kids on the street are the bad guys, when really it's anybody, any economically depressed situation. Really interesting how there's so much retrospect now on the Wire, and I have this theory that it's time for the Wire too, because all of those lanes are so different now. The Wire 2, set in the Trump administration, the Trump era, would be crazy. But it would reiterate the fact that all things are going to spring from a lack. All things are springing from systems that hold people down and keep them in poverty, and then they make decisions based on that. And then and somebody in capitalism, somebody has to lose, and that's just what it is. And so the things are set up like this. So anyway, I just thought about that to say, we've talked a lot about the situations that we're all in, this minimum wage that we're all talking about. I always get this feeling when we're talking about the minimum wage issue, like, man, we're wasting our time talking about this. Minimum wage is not even enough money to do anything, and we got to go to court to battle to get up to the minimum wage for some of us.
Man, talking minimum, talking the floor, the barest.
That only exists because corporations would have paid you less than that. The government had to step in and create some laws so that they didn't pay you less than minimum wage.
And they trying to change that.
They trying to change that. They're trying to make it so they don't have to pay you. They can pay you what they want. But it's the same. The solution's got to be that the system changes up. How does the system change up? And for us, we always talk about we might have to create new systems. Not even might. We have to create new systems.
Yes, sir.
And we can start, and we start with creating new systems for us. These solutions got to start with us. So there's some nation building here that is apparent that needs to happen here in order to do that, in order to build build some kind of infrastructure for what we got going on, because that's where it has to start. That's where it has to start. Like we have I see clearly all these lanes. We break these lanes down all the time. I've been playing this on the break. The lanes of change, strategic communication, that's ours, political power, cultural placemaking, economic power, grassroots action, coalition building, artistic resistance. These are all lanes that have to happen all at the same time in order to push through, make a wide enough chasm to push through something. And this is and so we see these things happening, and we know that they have to go at the same time. But for us, this coalition building, this teamwork makes the dream work situation, first means that we have to get along. We have to get together. We don't have to like each other. We just have to get together on a purpose, on a mission, and that purpose and that mission it has to do with us trying to upbuild our people. First and foremost, we got to start with our folks. So here we are on this show. We built this kind of digital neighborhood on the show. We have First Sky Omaha fam of all races, all creeds, all religions, all everything.
Come on.
And so that we can get on the same page, because we really have to be centered around some ideas, some solutions. I don't care how you live your lifestyle. Like let's get together on some solutions and try to make some things happen. And then regardless of what's going on in these other lanes, we can still make what happened happen. And then if something hits in another lane, if the political power gets where it needs to be, and it can enhance that, great. We've been in situations like that before too, where the right person got in and some things got better in certain areas. And then we had to kind of, step back and be like, well, everything ain't perfect, but things are better in these areas. And that was the focus we were on. So here we are. And we got to kind of get back to that. So anyway, I'm just thinking about things that I take in, read a lot of books, watch a lot of podcasts, and even take in information from fictional situations as well, which are all really based on real life things. And just try to wrap my head around what it looks like, because that, to me, that's the ultimate question. The ultimate question for me this season: how do we put the team together in the first place? A lot of division, especially in our community. Lots of division. Lots of people who are like, who all gonna be there? They gonna be there now? Never mind, and don't never get together on it. There's a lot of that kind of energy is happening all over the place. We've been talking about silos for years. There's people who are doing some work, sometimes are working in silos and not getting nearly enough done. If you can team up and double your efforts, it's exponential. It's not even like you're doing 2 times as much. You're doing 20 times as much. You can just get together. Right. So, what does that look like? How do we solve this lack of this division in our community? How do we beef up teams? How do we figure out what our lanes are and put our lane next to somebody else's lane and push through? This is something that we have to visit this whole season. That's why we have designated this season to be that. So anyway, this is, I'm just expressing a little bit about what it is that I'm thinking on this, and hopefully we can continue some of that kind of conversation, because I really want to do that. Got to get to that.
Nah, man, I appreciate that sentiment. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm glad the conversation inspired that. And I, appreciate you taking the time to express that, because that's in the second hour. That's exactly where I want to go. Look at there's actually a big shout out to those who are sharing job postings on Friends Of, going back to your whole point of building our system, building our ecosystem, teaming up. That's one of the things, is hiring for within the community, because to your point, it's not just these mega corporations not trying to pay us livable wage. They're not trying to pay us at all. They're actually trying to replace workers with AI. And again, the national numbers are pointing to a huge decrease in job numbers. I mean, we've been talking about the hundreds of thousands of, Black and brown, our brothers and sisters that have been laid off already. But not just that, of course, the introduction of AI into the workspace. So we're seeing, huge, I mean, the whole Doge situation. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. But again, it's all tied into this direction that we're going as a nation, as far as the workforce being kind of gutted. And what does that mean? How do we combat that? What does that look like? And for me, it is looking like a revival of small businesses. It is looking like, again, us hiring from within and working together to make that dream work. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to hop into a break, if you want to pivot where we want to go, but that is definitely where the conversation is going next.
We're going to come back and get right into that. But first, I got to say, Donna Mae's Polk is in the chat.
Hey!
Somebody
Just
must
talking
have
about
told you we was talking about you. Yeah,
you.
appreciate you.
Ears must have been ringing.
Shout out to Cameron Snipes who told us about that great conversation you guys had and all the work. And I just want to remind you, last time me and you spoke, we definitely talked about getting together and get some stories. And I want to
Mm,
continue on that. We're definitely. It
mm,
sounds like you got a lot more than I even thought, according to Cameron
man.
Snipes. So definitely want to hear that, hear your story, and hear what your perspective on what goes on in North Omaha and some of the history and something like that too. So if you would hit us up, or we'll reach out to you actually and try to schedule some time to get together, maybe do a recording. I'd love to record some of the stories that you have if you wouldn't mind doing something like that. So I appreciate you coming into the chat and checking out the show. Thank you. Appreciate that. Feel very honored that you're here. Yeah, I can't wait to continue some of that conversation. Right now, we're going to take a quick break. It is 8:14 right now. If you believe in the concept of time and you live in Omaha, Nebraska, and we're going to get it going. We're going to make sure that we understand that this conversation is only here because you're here. This conversation happens because of you, and the conversation is ongoing. This is the only place that is happening where the conversation is ongoing. This
Man.
is not just we talk about the news and then move on from the situation. We're trying to get to solutions. And it takes more than one conversation on some things. So I appreciate everybody that bears with us on continuing these conversations on these subjects. And we'll do that when we get back from the break as well. You're listening to
Hey.
First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the
Hey.
God. Oh, Buddy, you got my name on your screen, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Hey, be right back, y'all.
Thank you.
It's two Paul B's.
A pair of holes.
Was a prince of a man. Fred Hampton was a man. Fred Hampton was a black man. Fred Hampton was a Black Panther.
Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God. I just want to give a shout out to the OEAA's Omaha Arts and Music Awards. Nominations are open right now. You can vote until August 31st. Go to the OEAA website and go ahead and vote for your favorite artists. They need your representation. It's going to go on until the 31st, which is coming up, man. It's the 24th right now, so we only got a little bit of time. Highly suggest you get to it now. We can't stress enough the importance of the OEAAs in order to have a thriving arts society. Some recognition is required, and what better way to do that through an awards system? We have a very unique awards system here in Omaha, Nebraska, because it's kind of covers a lot of the arts, all the arts, and so if you have a musical artist that you enjoy, then you can vote for them. If you have a graphic artist or a visual artist, you can vote for them. If you have an actor, I heard Fry Daddies just wrapped up last night, and the people that are saying they went to the last show, they were just like, man, it was so good. Fry Daddies was over at the Shirley Tyree Theater right there on the Deuce. And everybody that went to it said it was a really incredible performance. So last night was his last night. You missed it. But be looking out for what goes on over there at the Shirley Tyree Theater. I mean, we have a really great black box theater right here on the Deuce. And there's been some incredible shows. Shout out to Denise Chapman, who's genius over there, and all the team over at Union for Contemporary Art doing things at the Shirley Tyree Theater. So be looking out for the next productions. But yeah, if you went to those shows and you saw an actor that you like, man, go ahead and nominate them. Go ahead and vote for them over at the OEAAs, the Omaha Entertainment and Arts Awards. And then be looking out for the show that's coming up beginning of next year. I believe it comes up, but people get their tickets pretty early because of the fact that it sells out a lot. So shout out to the team at OEAAs and all the work they're doing. We're going to get to a little bit more of this kind of art talk and Love Supreme stuff in the third hour. But in the meantime, we got a few more things to jump into. We appreciate everybody who's joining us, who's still here today. I see Marlon Harrison said, for me, we got to respect each other's lanes. Find your lanes with someone who matches your goals. Heard that.
Hey, I'm with that.
You go. Nana May Spoke says, thank you for your kind words. I look forward to spending time with the two of you sharing wisdom and knowledge. Please let me know when you are available. I would feel most comfortable if we could come by the house. Okay. Since my
Okay.
mobility is increasingly limited. Understand that. We can definitely
Understand.
roll.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll go ahead and jump into the next subjects. I love it. Love it. Love it. What's next on the agenda, buddy?
Man, continue the conversation, picking up where we left off before the break, talking about the job market and some possible solutions to that job market, what we as a community can be doing to team up and, make this dream work. And again, financial stability, financial freedom, economic development is definitely a part of that dream, being able to, pay for the dream, pay for that house, pay for the car, or just, afford the life that you would like to live. And rather than speaking anecdotally, I do want to speak, talk about the reality that unfortunately families are finding themselves in. I just talked about before the break the hundreds of thousands of layoffs that have been going on, and just the reality of working in, especially now, some of these major corporations, most notably talking about Kellogg's, and again the latest closure of this Kellogg's plant, and just how the decision was made, how the decision was announced, and who's being impacted. This is being reported by WOWT just last week. Again, the last remaining 100 or so, or actually 350 employees were let go from the company. Again, the closure of the plant located at 96 and F Streets has operated for more than 60 years. Actually, Kellogg's, I've had some family members that work for Kellogg's. Historically, one of the better paying jobs. We were just talking about minimum wage. I mean, for a long time, Kellogg's is one of those jobs where, if you got a Kellogg's job, you pretty much set. Like you hold on to that job. You working at Kellogg's, you got a good job. You good. But the reality is, that doesn't last for too long. Again, in its announcement, Kellogg Company says that they announced its commitment in August 2024 to modernize its supply chain, which included plans to close the Omaha plant this year. Exactly what modernize its supply chain means sounds like AI to me, but you let me know what you think. But also, production has ended, and we are entering decommissioning of the plant. According to the announcement, the building will be listed for sale. This move is difficult in how it impacts our people in Omaha, and we are committed to supporting them and their families with care and respect through the transition. And again, you can take, from that what you will, as much as, how much Kellogg's actually cares about its employees making this move. Some employees did receive a severance payment that are affected, and some were both union and non-union workers. Kind of going back to your point about the wire, Paul. I think they got into some union work and how the union's situation, can make or break a situation. But yeah. And again, the company said the changes will result in more focused, streamlined facility, and described plans to invest in new infrastructure, equipment, technologies, and capabilities at its plants in Michigan, Ontario, and Pennsylvania. So again, and this is just a canary in the coal mine. Like, this isn't an anomaly. This isn't, an exception. This is kind of the reality of the job market across the nation. Again, as reported last month, about 20,000 jobs were reported as lost, reported as cut as far as the national job market. So again, why I wanted to highlight some of the local smaller businesses that are expanding, that are looking to build their team, and the need to support these businesses, not just as workers applying for these jobs, but as patrons. Again, supporting these businesses with our dollars. Again, Brighten Our Futures, Heart Ministry Center, both posting job postings and Friends of. So again, if you know somebody looking for a job, looking for a gig, definitely check that out. And they're, if I'm not mistaken, as you see, paying a little above that minimum wage. Again, $18 to $23 an hour, which if we did our calculations right, that $23 an hour mark is actually closer to what minimum wage should be. Like, once you factor in having to make 3 times the rent, and spending on car insurance and all the things that we have to pay for to survive, that $23 an hour actually is closer to the minimum, the bare floor that you need in order to actually work and survive, and not need 2 or 3 more jobs to survive. So Here we are. Big shout out to, again, Sunita Budai with Brighten Our Futures, and the whole crew, man. Speaking of teamwork, makes the dream work, man. Amy, Dom, like everybody, man, over there at Heart Ministry Center doing the good work. Looking for some help. I think they're hiring for a driver. So tap in.
And they're constantly hiring too, and they will be hiring even more with the with the grocery store that is being built on the Deuce as well. So they always got some stuff going on. We always try to post that in Friends of First Guy Omaha. I also want to give a shout out to Paul Philman, who posts a lot of things, a lot of hirings, a lot of jobs in Friends of First Guy Omaha as well. Here's one from Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. You might want to go over to DHHS and see if you can change some things around them from the inside. Maybe, I don't know.
Man.
They're hiring a developmental disability service coordinator over there. Lots of jobs going on right now, and a lot of them are paying pretty decently. Not all of them are living wages yet. Of course, though, that living wage fluctuates with every dollar that is added to gas or milk or anything else. But it is, we get closer to that, and then if people kind of team up on that, sometimes they can make it, which is what a lot of people do. Shout out to them. Also, shout out to we gave this guy some love on Friday too. The brother over there at Black Power. This is his Black Power training, and we have to reiterate that part. It's not just finding good jobs, but it's also starting businesses. And in your business, you absolutely have to be able to train. You have to have some mentorship within that. In our community, it's just needed. The education is a part of that as well. We have to have that as well. In other cultures and other parts of the city, even there's always apprenticeships. There's always people in the family that pass things down to folks. We don't always get that in our community, and so we kind of made the commitment that whatever it is that we're doing, we also need to go ahead and teach as well and build out as well. So it's not just a matter of take our lane, for instance. Buddy, you went to college and got your degree in broadcast journalism, which is an anomaly. Not a whole lot of kids in the hood is going to be able to do that. So for them to have an opportunity to be able to learn the tenets of journalism and get sent off in that direction, or we have a business that is directly spawned from your expertise as well. It became obvious that if we wanted to grow our team, we had to build that team. We had to build it out. Hence, content creator camp and everything else that we're trying to do. So we absolutely feel and see like I wouldn't have been something. I keep reiterating this, wouldn't have been something that I would have thought of before. This particular iteration of business that I'm in, and I've been in a lot. This particular one, there was always some training in other ones, but not to the degree that we're talking about now. Now, where we have to pivot in order to be able to, because we see such a need to be able to do that. But in every company, I see that has to be a part of what you're doing. You have to teach as well as employ. So shout out to Black Power training, because we really have to give people props when they decide that they're going to do that. He says, giving our youth a second chance through electrical trade. Of course, we know we have trade schools all over the place. We have Metropolitan Community College just right in our neighborhoods on the north side that teach these trades as well. But there's nothing like hands-on training. There's nothing like working with a company that is not just paying you, but training you at the same time. But then shout out to them too for having a lower price on their college experience in order for you to get that training there as well. There's a lot out there, but it really does reiterate like what it is that we need to do with our economy, with our companies, with our job searching and so on too. And I'm just thinking of skill up, step up. Everything is in this realm of we have to skill up on every level, whether we do that on our own or we are able to do that with mentors or both.
Yeah. I mean, it was just the reality is we have to keep up. That is reality. This is actually a conversation I have with my mom. Mama God all the time, as far as the world that we live in now, and her not foreseeing this world, and not feeling like I don't know how I could have prepared you for the prices that houses are, and just the lack of financial stability in the job market, and just this world it's changing, and there's definitely a need to skill up and change your skills and reevaluate the direction that we're going as far as these markets, and especially with AI growing and making just such an impact that it is growing, looking at areas where that impact can be minimized or we can combat some of that impact. And trades is actually one of the more I'm hearing that more and more, like getting more into trades, get more into trades from different areas. So big shout out to not only the Black Power training and developers, but also the Omaha Land Bank for this contractor seminar. This is something that I've also been talking about for the last couple of seasons, as far as how to look at opportunities coming our way, because there are opportunities out there that again, we talk a lot about doom and gloom, but wanted to focus more on some of the solutions, some of the hope, some of the opportunities out there that can be seized. And again, there's a lot of money being spent. There's hundreds of millions of dollars being spent in government contracts. And again, the Omaha Land Bank is hosting an event, or actually hosted an event. So I wonder if anybody made it. This small contractor public agency procurement outreach event, which was a networking event that basically taught about how some of the city of Omaha, MUD, OPPD, the Land Bank, OPS, University of Nebraska, Metro Transit, a lot of these public agencies are contracting with private businesses to fulfill some of the services, some of the programs, some of the things that they're trying to do. And you can align yourself and make some of that coin and, find some of that financial stability and economic development through these partnerships. But again, it takes information, it takes training, it takes knowledge to do that. What do these contracts entail? How do you get into these contracts? Who do you contact to get some of these contracts? So again, a big shout out to the Land Bank for hosting that event. And again, for those of you who are working and, making it happen on both ends, again, hiring and finding their own, charting your own path. Because that's what we need, man. That's what we need. Solutions.
We got so much construction and building and development that's happening in North Omaha right now. It makes sense to go back to that conversation about whether or not our smaller contractors can get some of that work that's coming in as well. And this has been a question that's been going on for as long as we've been doing things in radio and in broadcasting, because that's always been the case. So I'm seeing at this one, if you went to this outreach event, I'd love to hear from you about it. Omaha Chamber of Commerce put this together, City of Omaha, also OPPD. This is something that the Land Bank hosted, and I find that interesting. When we were first learning about the Land Bank and having and also talking to them about what it is that they wanted to, what kind of outreach do we think that they need to do? A lot of people chimed up and said that we need to figure out how we can be a part of the development part. You can learn about the Land Bank, go buy some land, but then what do you want to do on it? Are you in the position to build things on it? Are you in the position to because you can't just buy the land and not have a plan for it. You definitely have to have something built on it as well. So for them to be providing some resources through some of the major organizations to figure out exactly how you can do that, how small contractors and small businesses can get out and get some of these bigger jobs and develop some of these things, goes right along with the way that they're approaching building land or the dealing with the land that we have in North Omaha, especially North and South Omaha in particular, and figure out what we can do there. So I think it's very interesting. Again, if you went to this outreach event, I'd love to hear from you about this. I kind of want to know the progress here on how small contractors are faring with all this major construction that's coming up. And so we'll dig into that as well. Maybe we can talk to the brother over there at the Port Authority and a few more other people that are that are on that development side and find out if this is the case. It's just the same developers that we've known for a while, or are there some smaller companies that are up and coming in order to be able to get some of these contracts as well, and in turn hire some folks from our community to be able to take care of these things. So interesting to see.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I'm actually glad you mentioned the Inland Port Authority. We definitely have to keep an eye on what's going on there as well. We talk about scale up the innovation hub. We'll definitely love to hear, speaking of progress, what that is looking like. And again, this is where it's all going, because it's not just the development of these facilities, but once they get open, we have a runway to start to develop some of these ideas, actually, take advantage of some of these trainings to develop and build some of these businesses and start again building up our community. Think about here in Atlanta. Again, that is one of the main stories, anecdotes, solutions that are pointed to how Atlanta has become the kind of black mecca of economic development that it has, is some of these contracting. And as the city was building up, who was getting, some of these contracts and who was taking advantage of some of these deals, and getting a piece of the pie. It can go a long way.
Man, you just reminded me about something.
What's that?
So in the 90s, I came out here to live with my great grandfather for a while. I came out to hang out, ended up living with him for about a year. And he was in his 80s, still running companies. He was running Allen's Flooring Company is what he was doing. And I was maybe late teens, or I was probably early 20s, still, in California, kind of trying to taking any job that was in my 100 jobs era. So I've had about 100 jobs in my lifetime, and they were all in my 20s, and it was literally like that many, because it would be like I would be there the one day, walk off, or not show up, or there were several different scenarios, or having 3 or 4 at a time. And I went back and counted one time; it was like close to 100 jobs, bro.
Man.
So obviously, really having a hard time trying to figure out what was going on. I was also out of high school, and my mom would push a trade. It was at the time, it was ITT Tech. She was really pushing, seeing the future of technology. I wasn't really pushed to go to college. It wasn't really the thing, because all of my whole family are entrepreneurs, and everybody in the family had a business. And if you look at my resume, it's like Allen Family Flooring, Allen Family Properties. That my resume for the first 10 years of my life was like all family businesses. So learning something and maybe having a specialty in some area, and also the family was in music. That was one of the family businesses too, music. So there was always very much support for me doing music and being in the studio and having equipment. One summer I worked for my uncle's construction company, and they ran out of money, so they paid me in music equipment, which I was absolutely fine with. At 15 years old, I was absolutely fine with that. But anyway, so definitely struggling. By the time I got into my early 20s, I moved out to Omaha for a year. Gramps was running the floor business, and he immediately made me a manager, which was crazy, because I was like 21 or something, managing these 40-year-old weathered, carpet layers and all these people.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "Who is this dude coming in here telling us I don't know nothing about the industry?" Right. I'm like, "I don't know, Gramps, you might want to put me in an entry level situation." No, not with the last name Allen. You have to go over there and be the manager. So figure it out. And so that was my first job. And what I understood was why are we in these government buildings all the time? Like doing all this tile and all these massive buildings with all these, how'd you get these big tile jobs like this? Turns out John Ewing Sr. and my grandfather teamed up, made the dream work. And he was in a position to give my grandfather government contracts for the flooring company, and that's how the flooring company thrived. I actually managed doing the floors in the Ernie Chambers apartments at one time, and a bunch of other buildings downtown, the federal buildings, all kinds of stuff downtown. And so, it just reminded me about that. I remember thinking that when I first got in town and had to go to the DMV and pay something, I saw John Ewing's name. I was like, well, remember that. It turned out it was John Ewing Jr. that it was at the DMV. But you see how much DED is on my mind. When I talked to Brother Ewing, he said, "Oh, it must have been my dad that did that, because he was in that position." So it just reminded me, like, even back in the day, probably the 90s, the 80s, like, you're not going to have a thriving business unless you are able to grow your business by getting bigger contracts. And government contracts at the time were available to people who were teaming up to get done with that. So shout out to John Ewing Sr., who decided he wanted to have a black-owned company come in and do the flooring in some of these big government buildings. And I think I came back and bought a little raggedy car with that money. So shout out to
son.
you know what I'm saying? Money in my pocket. There you go.
Anyway,
just wanted to talk about just a little bit of teamwork idea when it comes to thinking about that government contracts and different bigger contracts. You got access to contracts, and I know a lot of people that have access to contracts that have done this. They were like, well, we want to try to figure out how to spread this around and make it a little bit more equitable. Have some minority organizations come through. And I remember there was even some classes that they were sending people to Kiewit to be able to get to the point where they can do some of the bigger jobs and be certified and so on and so forth. So there's some efforts out there. There could be a lot more efforts to be able to help shore up business and help people get contracts that'll help their business grow. And I hope that this happens during this era of big growth in North Omaha and all these millions of dollars coming into North Omaha and South Omaha. I'm hoping that this spawns some new companies and new jobs and new work.
And ecosystems, you know what I mean, as far as people working together in these systems, because that's definitely where my mind goes, as you're talking about your grandpop's situation. I'm thinking, as he's getting those contracts, who else is he paying to get the job done? You know what I mean? Like, is he
Right.
kind of subcontracting with somebody who might have some trucks and a dumpster to get rid of the old flooring and old carpet as y'all are switching things out? Like, that's definitely where my mind has been going. You look at some of the INSORG dollars. We have plenty of new buildings. Who's getting that contract to clean those buildings? Who's putting themselves in position to clean those buildings? Who's putting themselves in position to maintain, HVAC? I mean, like, let's really think. Let's really think about what lane we can fill and how we can all team up and play a role and get all hands on deck on this thing, man. And I say that with intention as far as all hands on deck, because I do want to pivot in the kind of second half of this second hour into an extreme example, looking at Gary, Indiana and the Midwest. And, it's not just about economic development and spreading the dollar, but having a system needing each when we need each other, in times of need, when there's famine, when there's fire, when there's storms, when there's real disaster. We ain't got time to be doing all that fighting and figuring out. It'd be time for action in that point. So the whole element and the whole point here is to be proactive and to think about how we as a community can come together before we find ourselves in a situation like Gary, Indiana.
Big time. Before we get there, just want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody that's coming through. RG in the chat says, yeah, man, back in the day, Kellogg put a lot of money in the hood with all the folks that work there. Says the long running joke was you never get a day off, but a lot of folks made the deal with the devil. And a lot of people worked at Kellogg for real.
Yeah, man.
Industry. Clarice Jackson in the chat gives us good morning. Good morning to you. Appreciate you.
Hey.
She says, I appreciate you two brothers for keeping the community informed. Thank you.
Man, trying.
Yeah, appreciate all the work that you're doing. We can't keep nobody informed if they can't read. So
man,
appreciate you doing your thing, sis.
Goes a long way, hand in hand.
Literacy matters. Matters. Teamwork making the dream work. Brother Pena Valadez is in the chat again saying community matters. I heard that, bro. Says we need stronger ties. Good to see your name in there, man. Appreciate you.
Solidarity. That's what it's about.
It's gotta be, bro. It's gotta be 8:41 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we'll take a quick break and come right back and jump into more conversation. The direction you want to go in that your buddy's already iterated. Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. All B, buddy to God. Appreciate you guys joining us. Appreciate you guys hanging with us through the second hour. We actually have another hour. We're going 3 hours today. And we're going to definitely have some conversation about some Love Supreme business a little later on the show. I can't wait for that. As a matter of fact, there's some things coming up. It is Labor Day weekend coming up. And if you're making plans, be good to start making those plans now. You can go check out Brother Nate Bray, cousin Nate Bray, live music by Nate Bray and the North 24th Street Legacy Ensemble, which is really cool. And I appreciate them holding it down every Sunday over there at Dreamland Park, right there on the Deuce. This will be Sunday, September 6th, of course. They've said, bring the family and honor the amazing workers who make our community strong. I can see people ramping up because the fact that there's the weather's going to change. It'll be winter before you know it around here.
Man,
So the fact that they're continuing on here, and I'm seeing every Sunday I see more and more people showing up. Like, yeah, we only got a few more good days for this. So as a
get
matter
it
of fact,
in.
as the thunder rolls out here right now in Omaha, and starts to rain, I'm thinking about that too. So shout out to them holding it down over there at Dreamland Park. Bring a chair, bring some snacks, and your good energy is what they want you to bring. Celebrate, relax, enjoy the music. This is going down Labor Day over there at Dreamland Park. Nate Bray and the 24th Street Legacy Ensemble. Such a trip to be able to promote my cousin's band and some of my brother Grover Lipkins and everybody who's playing there.
Come on, man.
It's a trip. It's a real trip sometimes. Also, I wanted to give a little extra shout out to OTB for that work that they're doing over there,
Man,
providing food for the girls over at the Identity Prep School. Shout out to them. Here's some of the things they got going on, man. Lemon butter garlic lamb chops, oxtails, the works. This is the Sunday special. For those of you who don't know, OTB Off the Bone flavored turkey legs are over there in Benson. We're gonna have to talk about them about some partnerships around here because they holding it down. And I remember as I was working over there at the theater, this was coming up, and they spent a while getting this together. It was like a year before it really got up and running. But man, they hit the ground running when that door opened.
man.
They never stopped. They never stopped. They just recently had a giveaway. They were doing a food giveaway with a famous sports figure.
Yep, Chucky Hepburn.
There you go. Came through, and there was a line all the way down to waiting room for people. So they're really making some moves over there in Benson, showing how it can be done. It's interesting how Benson is North Omaha as far as we're concerned. And for a lot of time, it was Taste of New Orleans was the only black restaurant over there. But now we got OTB,
Mm-hmm.
and with them doing what they're doing, man. Shout out. That's what that's people keeping in touch with what's going on around town, keeping up with what's happening, and figuring out a solution to be able to help something out with what it is that they're doing in their lane. They ain't coming over here trying to advocate for who should be in the political seat or whatever. They in their lane doing food and figuring out how they can figure out how to support. So I just want to give them a shout out for real for that, doing that work as well. Marlon Harrison is also reminding us Afrofest is Saturday, September 5th this year. So
Okay.
Afrofest is
Man.
coming up too. And I believe they're not at Stinson anymore. I believe they're at Riverfront now, right, Marlon? Let us know. We'll grab some flyers and see where they're at. Yep.
Some
Shout
changes.
Shout out to Afrofest. They've been doing it strong now for 6 years.
Man, yeah. Man, I feel like it's longer than that actually.
Might be.
Yeah. Shout out. Man, well, appreciate that. Moving along in this last 15 or so minutes here in this second hour, I definitely wanted to really pick up kind of the vibe that you're putting down with OTB, man. Again, restaurants, food, bringing people together, bringing the community together, and wrapping around a good cause. That is kind of the energy that's actually going on today as a food influencer and popular kind of food reviewer. Keith Lee will be taking and really kicking off his Midwest food tour in Gary, Indiana. Again, this is in response to what's happening in Gary, and again, kind of for us, painting a picture, giving an example of what it looks like in the most extreme conditions when teamwork can make the dream work. Again, if you don't know about the Gary, Indiana situation, there has been some reporting, but just how bad the situation is, you would think that there would be more reporting. Again, we have communities like Gary, Indiana, now 2 weeks in without power. Just imagine how long 2 weeks without power in the whole city is. Not just, again, your neighborhood, not just your neck of the woods, but the whole city without power now for weeks. And just how dire that situation can be. Actually, to the tune of 20,000 people are still without power in Northwest Indiana. This, according to reports from NPR, after severe storms rolled through the area to the tunes of 100 miles per hour winds. Not necessarily tornadoes, but apparently it's called a derecho. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it right. But again, these are tornado, hurricane level winds, 100 mile per hour winds. But rather than swirling, they're coming right at you. They're just coming right at you. So again, those winds heavily affected the region earlier this month, knocking down homes trees, power lines, complete infrastructure, not just in Gary, Indiana, but also areas in Michigan, also areas in Ohio, just um, the whole region really impacted. But again, a lot of attention, a lot of publicity being pointed, and reasonably so, towards Gary, Indiana, which is a predominantly black community. So again, when we find those types of situations, some of the hardships are exacerbated, really. But in Gary, Mayor Eddie Melton said that at least 17,000 citizens still remain without power over the weekend. NIPSCO, which apparently is the agency that maintains and is responsible for reinstating the power, say that the estimation will be the end of the day on August 25th. So tomorrow is supposed to be the day, but I'm also seeing reports of maybe even well into September before the power is completely reinstated. So that means, again, food going bad, no access to water, gas. I mean, the situation is pretty bad. And a lot of people are actually pretty mad about the slow response. Again, 2 weeks to possibly months is too long. The company's slow response has been criticized by civil rights leaders. Actually, daughter of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Sister Bernice King, said last week that the power outage in Gary is part of a pattern, and that residents there deserve more than survival. Black communities have too often been expected to endure conditions that would be treated as intolerable somewhere else. We are expected to survive the neglect, absorb the loss, help ourselves, and wait for urgency to arrive. So again, big shout out to those who are stepping up and answering the call. As I mentioned, Keith Lee kicking off in partnership with the Salvation Army his Midwest food tour, which again will bring much needed meals and food assistance to those families and residents in Northwest Indiana. Of course, he's known for generosity, so this isn't something that's foreign to Keith Lee's platform. Again, beyond the media response, in partnership, the Salvation Army also remains in impacted communities for months after a disaster to provide social service as well as financial assistance. So again, Keith Lee, the Salvation Army, but not just that, also several athletes are stepping up. Tyrese Halliburton, who's one of the stars for the Indiana Pacers. Also, if you know about that area, Chicago, which is not too far from Gary, Indiana, a lot of Chicago members are actually stepping up, particularly the Chicago Bears announced a $200,000 commitment to storm relief. Also, splitting some of that with Catholic Charities, Archdiocese of Chicago, and Catholic Charities in Archdiocese of Gary. Also, $100,000 designated for Northwest Indiana. So again, the community stepping up, teamwork making the dream work in that situation, as far as the dream to survive through this situation. But again, going back to what I believe Guillermo said earlier, as far as do we have the strong ties? Do we have the bonds? Do we have the trust, which is something that Sister Erica Forte kind of talked about, as far as community trust? And when time gets hard, are we going to lean on old tips and old beefs, or are we going to come together and make the dream work?
Good question. In the chat, Miss Erica Feld says the only reason I learned about Indiana this weekend is because one of my former child care kids, who's grown with kids of his own, is stuck out there with no power, no water. Yeah. That's another thing we need to address, is how bad the coverage is on all of this as well. We don't get it. And this is really taking me back to Katrina days, because people went months without any help. FEMA and everything else failed the black community so hard it was crazy. And it's a trip. I just read an article about Trump, who's talking about trying to take FEMA away. It's a disaster. And I almost was like, yeah, it was a disaster, and it definitely was a disaster in Katrina. So this reminds me of that, because it's the slow response to help black folks is here again with this. Anthony Rogers Rice says Gary, Indiana is the manifestation of a surplus population. The data centers are still being powered. The people's homes are not. This is what AI future would look like. It's another thing to consider. Data centers didn't go down over there. Also, he says, also 100,000 folks in Memphis are without power. The data centers are still being powered there, though. Capitalism literally kills and keeps people in the dark. Man, you ain't lying. Tony Johnson said, "I can see this happening in North Omaha." Can you? What
Man,
would be the domino effect there? What would happen here? And then, and more importantly, like whatever would happen, what solutions? What solutions are there is the real question. Linda
man,
Latham gives us a good morning. Good morning to you. Marlon Harrison says, let's not forget senior citizens and those who are sick, who have oxygen tanks, who don't have enough power to keep them alive. Oxygen tanks.
man.
What's the thing for the liver? I mean, not the liver. The
Kidneys. You talking about dialysis machines,
dialysis machines, dialysis
bro? Yeah,
companies.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, again, those are the things, but even beyond that, just food, water,
right.
hygiene. I mean, man, women who need birth care and things like that. Like it really is a dire situation. So again, what types of bonds do we have? Because it wasn't too long ago that Omaha was impacted by that power outage that I think happening from the power district in Texas,
Mhm.
and there was a major storm that hit. And global warming, some of the the things that are supposed to be monitoring these things, talking about Doge earlier, they're done away with. That's a whole nother conversation that's stemming from this Gary, Indiana, Midwest storm. Was the minimum number of warnings that were issued. People didn't know that these storms were coming because the agencies that are supposed to monitor these things and forewarn are underfunded or completely defunct. And Anthony Rogers right talking about the air quality monitors in Omaha, and I've been talking about the floodplain situation. I mean, we've seen multiple times Saddle Creek flood over. What if Lord forbids, what if the Missouri River actually does go up a few more feet? What will happen to the Luminarium? What will happen to downtown? What will happen to? I mean, remember people got trapped in that elevator downtown when there was that flooding. Like it's
Wow.
not too far of a stretch of imagination to think that something can happen in the Omaha area where we might need some help.
Yeah, I got a friend right now that lives out towards Bellevue, is dealing with a flooded basement. No joke. When your water and electric damage is happening, they say in Indiana there's people that are kind of going after each other when it comes to generators. Thinking about resources. What happens, man? You gonna start fighting people over generators? I know that a lot of
Man,
them get stolen off the back of food trucks and stuff like that all the time because of what's going on. But like I'm just thinking about like what people end up having to do to survive. If there's no thought process, if there's no resources, no teamwork, if there's no place you can go, what happens? Where are you going to take your elderly when something goes down? I mean, let's not act like nothing's going to go down. Something always goes down. And as to Anthony Rogers Wright's point, they're not going to. You're not going to get help before capitalism gets helped. So
man,
absolutely got to figure out what you're going to do for yourself and your people. Absolutely. And do it and let's act like it's going to happen. Let's not wait until it happens and then try to figure it out. Like something's got to happen there.
right,
Tony
right,
Johnson says North Omaha has fragile systems, so a big storm could more damage, and we do not necessarily have an informal or disaster recovery system. Who would take the lead and who would follow? Anthony Rogers Rice says the solution is proper public power, not the white power that we have at OPPD right now. We need renewable energy and battery storage, and the city's climate action plan needs to be written stat. It's interesting that we still don't have that.
Hmm.
Tony Johnson says Saddle Creek River is a great example. Driving that road in the rain is dangerous. I mean, it was a creek.
man.
Why
Floodplains.
why they decided to put a street on a creek? I don't know. But every year it floods.
And actually something that's hitting me in this moment while we're having this conversation, like I truly wonder what is happening beneath the soil of Omaha. Because I wonder if all these sinkholes have something to do with flooding and underground water.
They
I
do.
mean, that's kind of was the conversation about the whole brothers situation as they, update the infrastructure along this streetcar path. MUD said they have to update the infrastructure because of what's going on under the ground and not wanting to have to dig up after the fact after they put up the streetcar. So they're changing. That's what's taking so long because they're trying to shore up and fix what's going on underground. Also the sewer separation project. I just my mind is going to what is going on in the soil and under the streets of Omaha? I mean, there's been plenty of sinkholes. I mean, where are these caverns coming from? What's really going on? Just a thought.
Downtown, big one that everybody was making jokes about. The one
Man.
at Warner Brothers. There's it's interesting. Remember the one that was on the news? The two cars just kind of fell in.
Yeah, made national news, and now brothers, sinking in. Where else?
Yeah,
Where else?
It's a good question, and I know that there was a period of time when North Omaha was dug up pretty heavy because they were it was the first part of gentrification. They were kind of putting bigger pipes down and restructuring underneath and so on. And now we're seeing that same work being done along the streetcar line for the same reason, which is the reason why the streetcars take so long. They had to stop and shore up the infrastructure underneath the streetcar along that line. But that's only one street down there that they're doing that on. So yeah, what's that going to mean?
Just the question. It's nothing I had planned for today's conversation or nothing that got to do with today's thread. Just the question. Like, what we doing?
What we doing? The only underground I want to hear about is underground hip hop.
Hey,
other things.
Come on now.
Coming up on the third hour, we're going to be talking a little bit more about some Love Supreme business.
Yes.
Appreciate everybody that's joined us and sticking around. Marlon Harrison says, let's not act like Omaha hasn't been it with bad storms before. He says, I know people who remember the tornado of 1973, which tore up parts of Omaha. Absolutely do. I remember that's one of my first memories at 2 years old, being rushed to the basement because that's the one that went and tore up Nebraska Furniture Mart and all that. Yeah, big time. RG in the chat says, times like these, I think about that Kanye statement about Katrina relief.
Oh, you talking about Bush not caring about black folk?
Yep. I feel that. Appreciate everybody's comments. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. It's 9:00 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're now in the third hour. RG, the third hour. They got quiet now, boy. They ain't hearing no. I thought I was gonna hear it. Can we go 4 next? So I'm glad.
Just wait. Don't give them no ideas.
I heard that. Stay tuned. We'll take a quick break and come right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God. I appreciate everybody that's sticking with us throughout the whole show. And if you're in and out, appreciate that too. Come on back. We got another hour to go. Tell a friend. Come to Death Row. Come on.
Hey.
Come on back, y'all. We'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B. Buddy to God.
Hey.
What's you over here laughing at? Marlon here's the hour number 3.
Yeah, I'm laughing at RG. Talking about no, 3 is good enough. 3 is good enough.
You sure they want 4? You consult with Black Dynamite, see if y'all want 4. Let us know. Pop says my morning's still young, son. Yeah, for real. Out there on the West Coast.
Especially newborn morning out there.
Earlier in the chat, Anthony Rogers Wright he wasn't talking to us, but he was talking to somebody else, telling them that the only lane that matters is the lane that he was talking about. And our whole lanes of change idea is exactly opposite of that. It's bucking back against that idea as well, because we all think that our individual lanes that we're in and our solutions are the thing. This is the problem. If we don't understand that there's other lanes that are also important that all need to happen at the same time. It's going to be hard to change. We can be very frustrated in making some change. Some lanes are stronger than others, make bigger differences, bigger impacts than others. But at the same time, in order to have a full situation happen, we kind of are seeing this over the course of the time that we've been doing this now, which is wow. I guess 5 years here and what was it, 4 years at Mind and Soul?
Yeah, going on 10 years, creeping
Are
up.
you serious? Wow. You have some kind of decade party or something. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
But we've been understanding and hearing from so many different people in all these different lanes and understanding the reason why they think that what they're doing is the solution, is the answer. And I think we get caught up with thinking that one thing is the solution and the answer, and it's not. I'm not saying that that's what Anthony Rogers Wright was doing, but I'm saying I definitely see that what we're talking about here is a way to actually make some moves happen. We kind of need all these different things happen at the same time. And luckily we have a whole bunch of people in our area, a whole bunch of neighbors and colleagues and friends that are concentrated on certain areas, and they are making headway and progress there. And I want to be able to acknowledge that if we're in one lane and somebody's doing something in another lane, I want to be able to acknowledge that. Political power is a huge one. I think it has more weight than a lot. So it's very important that you vote and get the right people in seats and so on and so forth, and do the political battling that you do, that we see Anthony Rogers Wright doing, for instance, all the time. But there's also people like our brother Kasim who are doing a lot of coalition building, who are doing a lot of infrastructure work, and it's just as important. If we don't have the folks out here that understand that they need to be informed and understand what they need to be informed about in order to take certain action in certain directions, then none of it really works. We don't have a population of people that vote. The political power is not going to work. So
Yeah.
I hear it. He says, I meant the lanes at some point need to be intersected. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, intersectionality. Yeah. Okay, cool. I appreciate you reiterating that. I might have got the wrong thought when you said that earlier, but we're at this, per usual, on the same tip about what we're talking about. Definitely, they need to intersect. And I just want to make sure that we are trying to figure out how to support the people that are in the other lanes that we're not in, the other lanes.
Man.
Respect that they have a lane, respect they're doing their best they can in that lane, help them support their lanes as well. And then when their lanes intersect with our lanes, then we got more power going. That's really what it's about for me.
Man, I like what Pops was saying on that foot or on that tip. He says, I like the Bible idea of the foot not being able to tell the toes they're not needed. It's all interconnected.
I don't know nothing about that Bible idea. I have to go back and check that one out. The
Yeah,
foot
about
not
the foot.
being able to tell the toes, we don't need you. We got to heal.
Lose all kind of balance.
Especially the pinky toe? What's he doing? What are you doing over there? Yeah, that's what's up. He said, I still stand by my claim that we need to learn the difference between Black power and Black excellence as a part of intersecting the lanes. Yeah, most def. Agreed. But in the meantime, between time, it's definitely a situation where we better really look at what we need in order to make some change happen and really kind of settle in. I like what Marlon was saying about this earlier as well. Appreciate your lane. Appreciate your lane.
Man.
But go further in your lane as well. And there's some work to do within each lane. I think is super important too, because there's a lot of silos going on as well. So sometimes we're in the same lane doing the same thing and working against each other because we're not working together, which is something else.
Solidarity, man. That's what we all about. So as we transition into this third hour, kind of wrapping up the show, getting into our last ideas of this thread, I did want to highlight one of those lanes and a brother in that lane trying to elevate the lane and just, talk about the role that lane has and what we're trying to get to ultimately. Of course, talking about the issues, trying to find solutions to those issues, trying to build some solidarity through those solutions. But ultimately, the idea is to, build up an economic base, build up a community where we have the resources so we can, not just work, but play as well, man. So big shout out to DJ Ejiki, Eric Ejiki, get Ejiki with it, who's, a part of that, man, doing some good work over at NOAA. Big shout out to North Omaha Area Health and the work that, NOAA and, the whole team over there is doing. But not just that, man. He's also in another lane as far as artistic resistance, a DJ trying to bring entertainment, to the community. And it's another thing, it's one thing to work hard and build these systems and, build up businesses and support each other that way. But all work and no play is no fun, man. So again, and you know, shout out to brother Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. If you remember, he came out to speak at the Empowerment Network event a couple years ago, and the heart of his message, or one of the points of his message, was that that play to work. You know what I mean? Coming together as a community to, you know, go out, live a life with one another, have a good time, go to these events. So we can, you know, interact with each other and get familiar with each other. So when it comes time to do the work, it's a little easier. It's a little easier. So again, big shout out to brother Ejiki putting out the call to action and you know, putting the challenge out, man. Let's support these artists. Let's support the local arts and the artistic resistance that comes from it. This is I'm reading from a post that he made on Facebook, calling out the community. He says, Omaha community, we have a current gap in our entertainment scene when it comes to shows coming here in our urban community that include hip hop, R&B, soul music, and newer acts as a whole. Many of the major and mid-major artists and their agents say the same thing as to why they don't come here. We don't buy tickets early and we don't show up for the local regional acts. It's absolutely imperative that we all do something about this. We have amazing events, local concerts, and acts happening all the time. I mean, we've been talking about the heavy hitters, but it's not just the heavy hitters. It's the people here bringing the heavy hitters. It's the people here organizing. It's the people here performing alongside the heavy hitters that we also need to elevate. He also goes on to say, I'm asking you all to show up and support these amazing talents. If you do not know them prior, come hear them. Become a fan and support. Don't ask for permission saying, are you going to go? Just go. He says, I promise you all that there are some big things in the works right now when it comes to concerts and events and major moves happening soon. So let's support our people and build up this market so more people will come here. We can and will become a premier market for music and entertainment like we used to. And you know, again, big shout out to brother Ejiki. If you're listening, or if anybody close to the situation he's referring to listening, let him know. Trying to get down too. Trying to get down with some of the connections I'm making out here in Atlanta, because you know it plays a role, man. It plays a role when you look at thriving economies, when you look at thriving cities. You look at a LA, you look at a New York, you look at an Atlanta, you look at a Houston, you look at a Detroit, you look at a Chicago. They all have thriving arts scenes. They all have a thriving culture that, you know, spurs a lot of those movements. I mean, you'd be surprised how many connections are made at concerts. You'd be surprised how many people meeting at events lead to movements, lead to, you know, things happening in the community. So it's not just, you know, trying to have fun. It's not just trying to bring out the hottest artists, but the arts is an imperative. Like brother Ejiki said, it's imperative to building up the dream. Paul?
Man, we've been talking about the heavy hitters season that's happening at the end of this year here in Omaha, and all these heavy hitters that are coming out here to kind of spur on our whole teamwork makes the dream work baseball theme. The heavy hitters is coming out.
Man.
You know, just to remind you of one that I'm definitely gonna be at. Diggable Planets is coming to town. I mean, for me, you can't get no heavier hit than that unless you're Prince or Michael Jackson. Guess Lenny Kravitz might be on that level. Okay. He's coming as well. Yeah, heavy hitters happening, and according to brother DJ Ejiki, lots more that we don't know. Major moves happening soon that he's teasing us with, which means there's going to be more stuff going on. And I like his whole point. I've been when I was in Hawaii, that's what I did the whole time I was there. Pretty much for the whole 9 years, I was a promoter, and I brought people out to the island and did shows within the island, formed bands and hopped the islands. I did all that kind of work, and so I know how tough it is in order to throw events and really kind of, especially in a place that doesn't have that and not used to that. One of the major problems is not just here in Omaha. People got this whole mentality of who all gonna be there. I'll see, we'll see, and wait till the day of to buy a ticket. When make up your mind a little earlier, buy some tickets. If you kind of know, you can kind of communicate with the people putting the shows on. Then they'll understand that you're planning on going. They can make that gamble. They can make that gamble to bring somebody out. Ain't nothing like, having to pay an artist an absorbent amount of money, but you don't even know if your own people going to show up to the gig. That'll stop you. That stopped me from doing any gigs here. Right off, I'm gonna tell you that right off the bat. I came to town, like I said. I came here from Hawaii, so I was in 9 years doing gigs over in Hawaii. I came over here to start doing some shows. And by the next year, I was like, yeah, nah, no support. It's a different type of situation here. We are known for that whole like, we'll see, we'll buy a ticket the day of type of situation. So, and I just really think it has to do with like us having it in our mind what kind of town this is. Make it. I have to change. You know, it's easy. It's easy even for me who grew up in this whole in that whole type of scene to the point where I was getting festivals started and things like that in the places that I've been before. And I've gotten to the point where I hardly go out and do much of anything. It's got to be major for me to move the needle on stuff. And so if that's the way it is for me, it's because I'm definitely getting influenced by the kind of permeated thought in this town that this town is not that kind of a town. If I was in Atlanta, I'd probably be out all the time because that's the culture. But out here, that's not really the culture. But we can make it the culture. It has been that culture before, especially on the Deuce. We get all the stories about this. This was the town where everybody came down. Everybody came and saw 2-3 shows a night. That was just part of what it is you did. So we know that it can get expensive. We know ticket prices sometimes are out of control. We know everybody's struggling, having a hard time. But we also know that it's something that it will fill us when we get to see some of our favorite artists come to town. When we take that experience away, when we went ahead and did that, how many times have you said, "Oh, so and so's coming," and then that ticket was $45, and you was like, can't see it right now, and didn't go, and then regret not going. I've done that several times now, several times. There was when George Clinton came to town, we went and bought these. I bought tickets that was like $300, and at the time I was like, "What? Like this is crazy." I've seen him several times before. Why am I doing this? But you never think that after the fact. That money left, got some more money later, and glad I didn't miss George Clinton playing in Omaha, Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a mentality. It's a mentality to support. We got lots of good local acts, lots of good local DJs. We got a whole scene. We got places that people can play. We got places that internationally acclaimed artists come and play, even in the black neighborhood, even at Noma. We have a lot going on here that we could be supporting. We can look like a whole different place. And trust me, if we're able to get busy there is an economy there for that as well. There is an economy for that.
That's where my mind is. You said it. That's really where my mind is on this whole situation. I mean, we can talk ad nauseum about, the impact of art and culture has on the community and just, just how much cooler that makes a place to have those types of acts and those types of events going on. But beyond that, there are real dollars and cents behind, that situation. I mean, think about how much tourism dollars a place like Atlanta and LA and some of these large, even Denver, Kansas City, even some of these other Midwestern cities, how much they're making on, people coming from the smaller towns. We can have people coming from Iowa, Davenport, Des Moines, people coming from rural areas in Nebraska and South Dakota and Missouri trying to come to Omaha for a concert. That's economic development. That's people shopping at stores, going to the malls. That's people going to restaurants. That's people paying for hotels. When an artist comes, that's caterers, that's catering in the green room. That's security forces that are getting paid there's a lot of money that surrounds this ecosystem of an artist coming to your area that the community itself can benefit from. So again, there's many layers to this, and to your point, also not just the economic, but that also creates a pipeline for our local talent to maybe get on a tour with the artist because they like how somebody got down, or the instance of a Sister Celeste Butler who might be making some pieces for a Mono Neon. You might never know. We might see a Celeste Butler sweater on a major festival stage next year. You just never know how that can impact the community.
We do know it's going down. We do know.
Come on, man. Come on.
Happening. He's commissioning work for her, and you're going to see some of her pieces nationally, internationally displayed. I love it. I love what you're saying. Black Dynamite says, "Say it, Paul. Leslie, this is the drummer in our area saying it. That's what's up." RG says, "Can't complain about the price hike on the day of the event when you want to buy a ticket." That's right. Can't complain about it. That's what's happening. Tony John says sometimes even the local talent performing at these shows not promoting the event. Promotions are tough, but yeah, I can see that. It's not just about promotions though. I think it's about more than that. I think it's about a mentality. I think it's about an absolute mentality. As a matter of fact, before I get to the rest of these comments, I just want to show you this again.
Get it! Get it, man! Get it!
The reason why I love this so much, and Marlon, I hope that you don't mind, but I love to see you cutting loose. I love to see it. This is not Marlon dancing around because some politician got elected. This is Marlon dancing around because Houston Alexander is an incredible DJ, and he's with family, and he's with people, and he's at the For Love of Barbecue event with the community, and he's feeling good and cutting loose and having a good time, and he ain't gonna miss that kind of good time.
Man,
We shouldn't be trying to miss it either. Like, even when we go to the shows, bro, I come from places that people have a good time like that when they're at the show. Even the mentality of sometimes Omaha cats will come to a show and just kind of stand there stoically, not really even engaging in the show. This is not a show town. This is a town that doesn't value its art in the way that other towns do. Spend the money. Go have a good time. Have a couple of drinks. Go with the idea to cut loose and have a good time. Feel good. We're allowed to feel good out here. I've never lived in a place in my entire life that has something against feeling and being okay, feeling good, feeling great. How are you? I've never lived in a place that feels so against that. It's rare when I see people cut loose and just have fun and be cool, and it's like a event when it happens. Like For the Love of Barbecue, it was an event. I got more footage. I got the footage of the kids out there getting it. Like, there's nothing like seeing a bunch of little kids like hearing their favorite song and jumping out and dancing, and they had a dressed up Spider-Man and some other costumes and stuff like that. And they was out there getting them little kids out there getting it, bro. Like, they were feeling good, and it feels good that they feel good. And that's what it's about for me. So I love it. I see Adam K. Garo in the chat.
Hey, man, speaking of local talent, Adam Soul.
Nah, bro, I can't even say local talent. Speaking
Man.
of internationally acclaimed talent,
There you go.
I don't know if she is or not, but she should be. One of my favorite artists of all time in the chat right now. She says, "You're right about creating culture. What culture do we have now? Do you see anything we can lean into as our thing?" It's a good question.
Good question.
If you don't know about her music, go look it up.
What's wrong with you?
Go look it up, bro. This is I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you co-signing on this for us, because this, artists like these are the kind of artists I'm talking about right here.
Man,
as far as I'm concerned, I've been all around the world. She's one of the dopest artists I've ever heard and seen anywhere. She translates everything from the motherland to here to, Pops, go look her up. She sounds like Sade. I can't even describe her. I used to call her the Omaha Sade. Like,
man,
plays instruments. She blew us away one time on a show when she brought out a harp. She was like, "I got a new instrument that I'm gonna try out tonight." And we're like, "What is this?" We didn't know what, guitar. She plays the ukulele or sometimes. I'm like, "What?" She brings out a whole harp, blows everybody's mind with it. Now this, if we had an industry here, bro. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, and she's a rare one because she gets a lot of support. Everybody out here knows how dope she is. So she gets a lot of support. She could get a lot more. She could get a lot more. And we tend to lean on this idea that it's about support. Promote your show and then we'll go pay and go see the show. But that's not even what I'm talking about. Go hop a fence to go see a show. Go decide to have some fun. Go decide that you are seeing some premier world-class art right here in Omaha, and we have that. That'll motivate you to go buy tickets early. That'll motivate you to plan on having some fun later. That'll motivate every problem that we have with the entertainment scene right here. That'll even motivate you to find out what's going on, because nobody, contrary to Tony Johnson's point, everybody promotes their stuff. It's just that we have so many different places to go find it. It's not in your feed, then you don't see it. We don't have newspapers like this anymore. People can't afford to put something on a commercial on TV. But you know what they do have? They do have social media, and they definitely post their stuff on social media. Some people pay for ads. Some people do get on the radio and promote. It really is about like how much we're paying attention to, with this intent that we want to know, we want to learn about it, we want to hear about it, we want to go out and have some fun and do it. That's really what it is. Look when your favorite artist comes to town, you go, bro. There's no way. There's no way. before I get carried away, I want to get back in the chat real quick. Marlon Harrison says, I think
Mhm.
people are scared that they might be judged if they go to certain festivals or concerts. Most deaf. Marlon, you've been a prime example of a cat that will go. You just went to that thing last weekend with the bop to the top or whatever that thing was, and you was cutting loose there. So like you like to go and decide that you can go have some fun. That's what it is. I remember back in the day, back in California, I used to crash wedding receptions because we wanted to go dance and funk and see the DJ and have a good
Really?
time, bro. Like to find a party somewhere where there was a DJ, where there was some folks there. There were some
Getting down.
girls go hang out and bother and and then show your moves on top of it. Look, bro, that was life, and that's not life for me now. But I will say that that's something that's lacking from in my life and in a lot of people's lives, and it also it just really has to do with the culture. It has to do with the culture, and I want that to change up. We got too much talent out here. The most talented people I've ever seen and played with and been around and heard has been in Omaha.
Man.
Every place I've been.
Man.
You ain't got
To that
to
point,
have talent to have a band in California. You just you know what I'm saying? Like you just have a band.
just do it.
Out here, you have spent time learning your craft. A lot more than
Shitty.
other places, bro.
Man, to that point, Pops in the chat, give us a little story about Buddy Miles. He says, I think Buddy Miles was in the audience when that major act needed a drummer, and the rest is history. I mean, I've sat and talked to my uncle. Shout out to Uncle Ray, who's a saxophone player, but he's told me stories of chopping heads at the showcase.
Hey.
Major acts come through, and local players are that talented. I mean, the level of talent in Omaha really is astounding. Like, I really don't think we understand how talented, and in I'm talking about in comparison to anybody else, any city, any market, any other area you want to name. Omaha has a comparable, maybe even better amount of talent. Do we look at it that way? Do we support it that way? Maybe not, but it's there.
And again, I don't want to lean on so much about the fact that we don't support it so much, because you go support anything that brings you value and joy. So what is it that you need in order for you to be motivated enough for you to go seek this out? Not for it to get spoon fed to you, not for the price to be right, not for you to make sure that the people that you don't like ain't there. What is the thing when are you ready to go cut a rug and have some fun? Not just anniversary time, not just on your birthday, not just the young folks, like literally, like what we're really talking about here is where you find joy.
Man, I mean, I've said it many times, man, like it's not a small thing. Joy is a very revolutionary act. Like to have joy, especially in the face of some of the things going on, makes them mad. They can't stand it. Make their skin crawl. Just make them mad.
It really does.
It really does. But joy is a very revolutionary act, man. I mean, don't let them steal your joy. Don't let them steal your joy. And I'm thinking of like the house parties. And I mean, how many fights, how many incidents can be avoided if you just busy letting loose? You ain't worried about who you beefing with, who judging you, who you ain't worried about all that. You just living alive with one another. That's the culture. That's the thing that we need to make ours, Adam. Is a culture of just letting loose.
That's what's up. Sarah Fell says, I'm back in the car. I'm going to listen and tell everyone to be kind to themselves, each other, and the earth. Don't forget your water. Thank you for an insightful show. Appreciate you.
Peace.
RG says, no, man, Marlon felt loose enough to do that because Sentinel Force was outside and I was watching the doors from the inside.
Hey, that's a part of it too. It's a part of it too.
That's legit, bro.
That's a part of it too.
Feeling like you in a safe space. That's legit. Marlon Harrison says, Disney night at the Steelhouse was fun and super packed. I always tell come out and let their hair down. Tell people come out and let their hair down. There's nothing wrong with getting your inner child out, man. Come on
now.
Like Dynamite says, man, I played a wedding on Saturday and the dance floor cleared. We played Bruno Treasure and our singers and horn section took the floor and went bananas. that's the beauty of live music too, is that you can that energy from live music is nothing. There's nothing like it.
Man.
Uh, the energy from DJing is also equal energy, but it's a different kind of energy. But it still requires you to interact with people. This is what this is all about. Get the people feeling good. That's what it's about. RG says, that's major, man, because the harp is not easy to transport. Bro, she broke that harp out, killed it. I got footage from that. I'm gonna have to bust loose on that one day. Um, RG says, also Miss Erica says, cut loose,
Come
cut
on now.
loose. Marla Harrison says, side note, buddy, if you want to experience your own Disney night, Bop to the Top is coming to Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Thanks for the heads up.
get your fun on. Pop says that North Omaha has always had more talent than any other city I've ever known. Now, he's been in way more cities than me,
Man.
especially in the 2 to 3 square mile area. Music, sports, actors. We talk about places like Minneapolis that had a Prince and Morris Day. But again, there was 4 or 5 folks that set the scene there. We got the 4 or 5 folks here to set the scene.
Come on, man.
That's real. I appreciate you guys diving in with us on this whole idea, Joy. I was actually looking for a track that I just found and cut because it was a Jesse's Place night from one of the times that bro, and I forgot. It was like Brother Craig on the keys. It was like Norman Love, best saxophone player alive as far as I'm concerned, on sax. It was brother Lewis, who was singing the blues like I never heard nobody sing. Like I couldn't. I took it for granted. I listened back to that and I was like, oh, yeah, that's where I get my attitude from. This this situation was out of control. I'm gonna see if I can find it, but first, we'll go to a break and we'll come back in and jump back on some of this conversation here. I know you. I see you got something brewing. I see you looking down.
Yeah. I'm just looking at this last article. Little, see what's going on in New York. Just a little.
In New York City. We'll be right back, y'all. For Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God. Welcome back for Sky Omaha in the morning. Hope you're having a good morning. I appreciate everybody who's stuck with us through this third hour as well. And I love that we were able to pivot into some of this Love Supreme talk. Buddy, what's going on in your mind over there? I see you brewing something. You got something brewing over there. What you got brewing?
Oh man, just a little, kind of solutions journalism kind of vibe, man. Just looking at other areas of the country and what they're doing as far as shoring up their arts communities and arts resources, and possibly some things that we could be seeing here in Omaha, possibly echoing and learning from in our communities, man. So this is coming out of New York, actually. Mayor Zoran Mondani just recently, actually earlier this year, hired a new commissioner, and look like she's going to be doing some good work. Daya Vij, who is the commissioner of the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, and definitely has the role to shore up exactly what we're talking about. She oversees cultural funding for more than 1,000 nonprofit arts and cultural organizations across the 5 boroughs and directs cultural policy for the city of New York. Again, she's worked in this space for quite some time. Apparently worked in Brooklyn, New York, as the curator for the arts programs at Powerhouse Arts. But again, this is not something that's unique to New York. Also, Atlanta has a position in the mayor's office that deals with nightlife and entertainment. I've seen several musicians, getting keys to the city. I mean, there's a definitely a integral relationship between the arts cultures and the city infrastructure itself. And this is something that, would love to see in Omaha. As we talked, I know, Paul, you've been in several conversations with some elected officials and other individuals trying to do research and trying to bring certain policies to Nebraska to help with the arts. Also, I know you went out and spoke with Humanities for Nebraska. I don't know how much you want to share with that situation. But as far as policy goes and as far as real solutions and shoring up and helping exactly what we're talking about, making that a reality, supporting these arts, supporting the talent that's in Nebraska, so it doesn't have to go out. I think it was RG that was talking about the retention in the chat of some of the talent. Man, I mean, we can tell many stories of talent, not just in music but sports and acting, that have gone out to other areas and are finding success. Shout out to John A, who's out in LA doing big things as an actress. Shout out to, of course, we know Gabrielle Union, but that's just tip of the iceberg. So yeah, man.
I'm thinking
I
about.
think
Go ahead.
I was just gonna put out. I think when we're just thinking back to when we were talking to the candidates, and one of them presented the idea of a nighttime mayor, which was an interesting thought. But seeing some of those things moving forward. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, that's what I was actually thinking of that that candidate as well, talking about that. I thought that was very very interesting thing that he put out there. I was also I was just thinking about talent and stuff out here. I was thinking about Brother John Beasley as well. Rest in peace.
Man.
When I first got in town, well, not when I first got in town, but a little later on, I recognized that somebody from Omaha was going to be in a Star Wars movie, and he's ended up being in the Mandalorian. And I thought that was super dope. And then for me to end up, meeting him and being friends with him and understanding what was going on and understanding that he had these classes that he was teaching acting. We always talk about that part. You can't be in an area and have a business without there being some education aspect to it. And he had a whole stage he was teaching folks. And again, some of the most talented, connected individuals around. And it's just, I don't want to get on Omaha's case too bad. A lot of small towns around everywhere, even California. You think California is this big mecca of whatever, but I grew up in the Inland Empire where we didn't have the scene there. We had to drive an hour out to LA to get to the scene. So every small town is a place that people want to get out of. People aren't being appreciated. I think it's kind of a saying. I can't remember what the exact saying was, but it's always like you're not really ever going to get appreciated in your hometown enough.
Right.
Sometimes Omaha thinks it's a phenomenon. You got to go outside of Omaha to get big in order for anybody in Omaha to pay attention to you. But that's every small town. It's not just Omaha. So it is a chore. It's something to do to try to recognize where you're at, what's happening, when it's happening, and not just always have to understand from retrospect what you missed, but to be in the moment. Sometimes it takes some of I feel like as the older I get, the more I start understanding I'm in the moment right now. I don't have to look back and be like, this was it. I'm feeling it as it's happening. So I imagine that even people older than me can give me a heads up on whether or not I'm in the moment. Is this one of the moments? Yeah, it's going to be one of the moments you remember.
Right.
Pay attention. Oh, keep your eyes open. Record this. Take a picture. Write it down. So yeah, man, I definitely think that I'm just going over all this talent in my mind of everything that's happening, and it's a real trip. Pops and I'm sorry, Black Dynamite in the chat says, what with the names you just threw out there, Paul? I wish I was on that one. Oh, bro, I found it. I'm gonna play you a little snippet. He says, put my man Paul on brother Mary Ewing. Brother Mary Ewing is I feel like we got a mayor who enjoys black art and music and acts like it's important. More than most mayors that I've encountered, except, well, Mamdani is doing something different.
Yeah, yes, but I mean, Mamdani, he be rapping, like
he got bars, right.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. I don't know. Mary Ewing might have bars. I don't know.
You never know. He might put that Al Green on you or something. You never know. Keep in there singing. We got to ask Raquel.
Hey.
Mr. Raquel says Oakland and Portland have those city offices for culture and art. Yep. City offices for culture and art would be great. Do we have it? RG says, man, I was pumping my fist when I saw John Beasley and Walking Tall with the Rock some years back. Man, come on, bro.
Man. He did his thing in Walking Tall too. It's a decent film.
Check out John Beasley Jr. His son is doing big things right now too.
Nice.
Anthony Rogers Wright says, facts, Paul Taylor Swift didn't get big on Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Just saying. Pop says, yes, Jesus said a prophet is not unhonored except in his own hometown. Okay, it says it in the Jesus said it.
There you go.
Bible. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to play a little bit. Let me see if I can play a little bit of this because you guys got to understand what's going on there. Now, just to give you some context, this is Jesse's Place, probably 2012. It's a jam session. So ain't nobody practice none of this. But Brother Lewis steps up.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about something else.
First of all, listen to the joy in the room. We having a good time by now.
You ready?
I want you to hear the beginning of this because didn't nobody know we was playing. We just started playing. Norman Love blowing.
Give you some of mine, but you figure out
Are we talking about apple pies here, or are we talking about
Mom Party went down in the
that's Leland Mickles. Leland Mickles on keys, legend.
doing, but I heard my mama tell him, take your finger out of it.
Robert Lipkins on guitar.
Told her, you get a funk, and I'll get a spring. We can go upstairs and we can settle this down. But take your finger out of it.
something's going on. I think we ain't talking about some other stuff no more.
You can do it in the kitchen. We can do it in the hall. Take your finger out and then you sling it on the wall.
What's up with this? What's up with this finger stuff? What's up with this finger? Somebody tell me what's going on.
And I said Norman Love on the sax already, right?
See that girl all dressed in black. Said if you get it once, you'll sure not come back.
Oh no.
Stoop down, baby.
Oh no.
And let your daddy see.
Oh no.
You got something under there. Worrying the hell out of me.
Oh no.
See that girl? She's all dressed in green.
How you not gonna have a good time while this is going on?
Stoop down is always clean.
What?
Stoop down, baby. And let your daddy see. You got something under there. Worrying the hell out of me.
What kind of daddy are you?
See that girl? All dressed in pink. They said, "Oh, stoop down."
You remember this? Black Dynamite, you remember this stuff over at Jesse's Place? I know you remember this feeling right here when this happened.
All dressed in red. They said, "Oh, stoop down."
So North Omaha sound like y'all?
People don't even know.
Stoop down, baby.
Pops, this is a regular Sunday night. This happened every week for the first 5 years I was in town.
Worrying the hell out of me. And you know what? I got to see you.
We didn't even start right. We didn't even know who he was playing.
Somehow. Not tomorrow. But right now. I know it's late. Oh, don't make me wait. No.
It's failing to the groove.
I'm gonna see the way.
That's your boy on drums right here, by the way. Thank you very much.
Hey.
Look at here. I'm gonna start thinking. Trying to make it through my
You hear me, Anthony Rogers, right? Sounds like an old school juke joint right there. That's where the real music used to happen.
Right there on the deuce, man. P got corner, as we like to call it.
Right. I'm gonna skip up because you got to hear a little bit more of this. It's a long song. Norman Love on the sax. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
That's a jam session.
That's a jam session, bro. Brother Mo on bass from Black Swan Theory. Listen.
Hear that Hammond?
Listen. That's Leland Mickles on that Hammond. Listen. Yeah, RG said it. That's some headline act stuff, Pops. You've been all around the world. You know about it. That's some headline act stuff. This was a typical Sunday night at Jesse's Place on the Deuce in 2012. The only glimpse I had, all these stories I heard about the Deuce back in the day, the heyday, Allen Showcase days, and so on. And this is what was born from that. This is the folks from that era.
Man.
The Roger says, "Dang, this is giving me chills. Where can we get this, Paul? Please don't do us like." No, my brother, you need to get your own. No, bro. I mean, this is what we talk about when we talk about bringing things back to the Deuce. Jesse's Place shut down, but there's actually a brother who bought the building that's about to open it back up as a new club.
Hey.
There's nights that you can meet us over at the Elks and hear this kind of stuff again. All these players are still playing everywhere, bro, all around. And getting down. I just talked to Lewis, the singer, the other day. They're at Dreamland Lounge trying to put something together.
Dreamland Park.
This is still happening right now. Dreamland Park every Sunday. This is still happening. But there wasn't nothing like they say the bigger the party, the smaller the place, the bigger the party. That little small Jesse's Place room, once it got a certain place in the night where people were let loose and actually just deciding to have some fun, sing, dance, be affected by what was going up on stage. Nothing like it. Very surprised when I go to different parts of Omaha and everybody just standing there looking. Nobody hardly even clapping. Nobody engaging. We looking for some joy. That's what this is about for me.
Man,
we got to have some joy, and we got to have it with the people who are this good at what they do, and we got to support that. Bro, do you understand that we all stopped playing for a while? We was making the same $75 a gig for years. It went up to about 100, and that was about it. Black Dynamite, you still playing? I'm sure that you probably get more than that, but you remember them $100 gigs? You play for 5 hours that night, pack your drums up, get your $100. It's not sustainable.
Man,
it's not sustainable. This is what it's all about for me. Black Dynamite says, "Yes, sir. I did Friday to Saturday during Omaha days at Jesse's Place, and every year since then, I've wished it was still there, man." Brother RG says, "Come on, man, let me hear that Pops is coming back here for a jam session," and I'm sliding. Say, "Come make sure I ain't at the hospital when it happens too." Pops says that was a cold singer too. It's Lewis Watkins. That's my boy. And again, just a talented cat that I couldn't believe it when I heard him. When I heard him, I was like, "How are you not a blues star?" The way he interacted with the crowd and stuff like that, he had I mean, I've never seen a more talented entertainer. When people think I'd be talking junk. When I say I've heard and played with and seen the most talented people I've ever seen in my life, I ain't never found no band that can play like that in California. All the bands I play with in California, and I feel like I ain't even down south. Imagine the blues.
Listen, I'm down here in Georgia, and they doing it. We does it in Omaha. We definitely does it in Omaha. And I am thinking of like the new wave of like Southern soul that's popping up too. Like there's still, that blues vibe sound Still has a place. Still has a place even in the modern market. So, we got the talent, man, and also my last kind of point in this whole conversation is the deuce, man, and P got corner, like continue to push the idea the way we are, and even harder as we move forward with some of these products, that were reports and things that we're planning on bringing out to highlight, that very thing, some of the activities going on the deuce, man, and definitely why we're so about what Nomo's doing with the Noma Fest, because I mean that's picking up right there, man. I mean, having heavy hitters like Mono Neon and right there on the deuce, right down the street from where that was recorded. It's still happening.
Across the street,
Still
that's right.
happening.
You right. You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. Just to give you a little backstory too on the keyboard player Leland Mickles, used to play in Silk back in the 90s, was in a Flight Time Studios with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They would lock him in the studio, tell him get that right. The brother got all that knowledge, came back to Omaha, a legend. Like, just, I mean, we could have a whole show on stories about the talent.
I mean, I'm sitting right there with Dungeon Family, Goody Mob, Outkast. Listen, it's still going on. It's still going on. Omaha got it. It's still going on. Know that.
It ain't passing us by yet. It didn't pass us by yet.
It ain't passing us by. We ain't drop it. None of that.
Pop says yes, he has the best vocal qualities of Kev Mo and BB King for real. And not to mention Leland Mickles, who's on the keyboard, has got an incredible voice. He can sound exactly like Luther Vandross. You ain't never gonna believe it, Pops. The boy's bad. Black Dynamite says, when I was younger, big bro Andrew Brookins, shout out to Andrew Brookins, taught me as a drummer, your job is to make the folks want to dance. There you go. So
yeah, man, we can keep on going, but the whole idea is, to get the information, to fight the fight, so we can get to some joy. That's what the fight is about. So we're fighting for, to get to some joy, man. So, man, live a life with one another. Find joy where you can find it, and let's get ready to work.
Let's make it happen. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. We appreciate everybody that hung with us this whole time. Definitely want to think about what we're going to do this week, set intentions. If there's anything going on, any meetings happening, we talked about the city council meeting that's going on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Of course, we already talked about making sure that we ask our city council members, what's up with that 40,000 for One Omaha? What's happening there? We need some answers on that one. And a few other things that we could talk about. Of course, the police gloves and stuff like that is going to be on the agenda. There's a lot to talk about there. So if you can make it, cool. If you can't, I believe it's on the public access channels. You can watch it. I often watch it on YouTube, as a matter of fact. So you can watch the council meeting on YouTube. Also, shout out to documenters that go and document some of those meetings sometimes too. It's something to do. It's something to really pay attention to. It's a hard watch sometimes because it can be very boring in places. But when you're up on some of the things that you want to know about, and you're a part of the situation where you can speak on stuff, it makes a big difference. So be a part of your city council situation for real. Also, shout out to Senator Ashley Spivey, who does I Be Black Girl. They got the Kiki coming up. They're saying grab your tickets today. Kiki, a social gathering often for the purpose of casually kicking back, fellowshipping, and sharing stories. The Kiki started in 2017 when more than 100 community members came together to dream, build, and imagine what was possible. That moment became the foundation of I Be Black Girl as we know it today. Come Kiki with us. Grab your tickets today. Go to thekikiomaha.com. I don't know who they're going to have speaking this time around, but I mean, they had like Tatiana Ali before. They bring some major stars from out of town to come to speak at these Kikis for real. So shout out to them for what they're doing. And again, she's also behind the Black in Action Collective. I highly suggest you tap in there. And speaking of jobs, they are hiring paid canvassers for what's going on here in November coming up. Paid canvassers at $26 an hour. That's a little bit above minimum wage.
A little coin.
Pilgers got a problem with this one. You try to act like it's you doing something nefarious.
Right.
To have canvassers register Black voters across Nebraska.
How dare you?
How dare you? Check it out. Apply. Link in the post. We'll put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha so you can get down on it. Among other things. So I appreciate everybody who's putting these things in there as well. Putting these things in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Again, don't forget to contact your city council to support the 40,000 for the mayor's neighborhood grant support for One Omaha. You can talk about if you can't go tomorrow, then make the call. There's some instructions on here as well, so go ahead and check that out. And Friends of, yeah, man, there's some good stuff for us to set intention for this week. And I'd like to throw one more thing out there.
Okay.
Find some joy this week.
Come on.
Find some joy. That's it. Just do something joyful, have some fun. And my one thing my grandma taught me, the quickest way to the biggest shortcut to joy is to dance. You
Move.
feel when you move and when you dance, you shake your whole self out of whatever it is you got going on in your head, because you can't outthink your body. So find somewhere to cut a little rug.
Man.
Find somewhere to
Get it! Get it, mama, get it!
Gotta get it.
If there was a rug out there, it'd be sufficiently cut.
Sliced.
But you got some words for the people?
Man, just echoing that, man. Again, Monday is for us setting our intentions, getting our head straight, wrapping our mind around what's really going on in the world around us, and that is a great intention to set for this week. Find some joy, man. I think I'm gonna try to do that myself, man. So appreciate that, and appreciate all of you for joining the conversation, sticking along with us for this 3 hours, man. I mean, the chat has been pretty active. The audience has been pretty steady throughout today's show. So we really appreciate y'all hanging out. Make sure to tell a friend. We're gonna still be doing this thing, man. So catch us Friday for the next episode, next iteration, when we drop our weekly wrap as we recap and look back at this week in our lives, man. So we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. And of course, catch the same time, same place. In the meantime, between time, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, stay cool out there, stay dry. And Paul B, take it away.
I'm gonna go ahead and put that weekly wrap link in the chat for you guys to hit that and sign up. Again, it'll be dropping on 4:00 on Friday. Next time we talk to you will be Friday at 4:00. It'll be 4 to 6 p.m. It's going down. We'll have some special guests coming up. And also we confirmed with the senators, we're going to return to Senator's Cipher in a couple weeks. Stay tuned, look out for that. And we're going to return to a monthly meetup with the mayor as well. So lots to talk about there, and we'll definitely continue to bring on special guests. If you have any ideas about guests as well, please let us know. And shout out to Marlon Harrison, that's always hooking us up with stuff like that. But let us know if there's other people you want to hear from. We definitely will be talking to some of the politicians coming up here, because it is still vote season. By November this season, we'll have to speak to some of the people that hopefully are running in the seats that we think need to be vacated and reset, if you will. And we really want to speak to those people to see what they will bring, what kind of changes they want to bring. So anybody that's on your mind, like I said, we're going to reach out to Lynn Walls, who's running for governor, and I'll be looking for the video there and a few other things there. And let us know who it is that's on your radar, and who it is that you're going to vote for. It's time to start looking. It's time to start getting that women's voter guide from the Women's League and dig in and study. This time we better look at them judges. We got a lot to study, and this is the perfect time to do it. We got a few months before it'll be time to make those decisions. They're already sending out the green cards for the mail-in ballots already.
Really quickly on that tip, I almost forgot also, so I'm seeing some posts and some literature out there about our formerly incarcerated brothers and sisters being able to register to vote as well. That's a big part of it. So, if you know someone or you yourself were formerly incarcerated, let's make sure we're spreading the information and letting people know that their rights can be exercised. So there's that. And also, I almost forgot, over the weekend, I did post, I've been mentioning it, this last week of Black August is upon us. Again, I was talking about a friend of mine who put together a playlist of, tracks from formerly incarcerated, currently incarcerated individuals, songs that were written, recorded, and performed in prisons around the world. And man, there's some good jams in there, man. Some Chico the Barge, some unheard tracks that, well, at least I haven't heard from I just drew a blank on her name. Man, check it out. Just check it out. It's an awesome playlist in honor of Black August.
That's what's up. Shout out Black August and everybody who's been inquiring about it. I got some personal emails and calls and stuff asking about knowing more about this. So I think that this time around. We're gonna we always have to do this. We have to go in a week or two to kind of explain what goes on with Black August. So let's try to make it a thing by next year. So we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna do a little more digging and more presenting of that. That's something that is worthy of a documentary, as far as I'm concerned. Even to really kind of like dig deep on what's going on. I'm
Word.
so interested that it started out in California. It's something else. So yeah, shout out. It's still Black August. We still got things to do there, but yeah, we appreciate everybody who has asked those questions. RG in the, I mean, yeah, RG in the chest is Andrew Bookins and Big Wade before he was full time on the keys. Yet Big Wade is a legend in the game out here. Black Dynamite says I spent hours last summer listening to Norman Love and Mario Corbino tell Omaha music history stories. Shh, I wish he had a recorder for that. We needed all that. RG says if anyone is interested in attending the District 66 board meeting that's out in Bellevue, it's going to be at 909 South 76th Street. Appreciate that. Post the time and date on that as well for them, if you would. Also, RG, I'm sorry, yeah, RG says I'm going to find some joy this next strongman contest on Saturday. Okay,
Hey, okay.
get your strongman on this Saturday. Where's it being held at? Love to know.
And make sure you're not partying too hard the night before. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Pop says, awesome show. These three went by fast. He says, love you guys, and see you on Friday. Appreciate you, Pops.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you on Monday. I'm doing a little traveling out there too, so we'll connect soon and get together. But appreciate that. We'll see us on Friday when we come back with our 2-hour evening show in the evening. It's going down.
There you go.
4 to 6 p.m. Yep. And we'll be working on a special guest for that time frame as well. So with that, yeah, I guess it's about time for us to get out of here. Just want y'all to find some joy this week. Stay dry, find some joy, have a good time. I did have one little moment of joy this weekend. I got to kind of chill, sit down, have some good food, watch a couple movies, and I haven't done that in a long time. So that was have some drinks at home. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
one of them kind of real chill on the velvet couch type of moments. It was great. Hung with some good friends and so on. And also, before we get out of here, Pops, I don't know if you heard about this, but we had a death happen that we just found out about last night. I kind of spent a lot of time last night confirming this because it was something that popped up on some of the family's feed. But our brother Asif Green passed away. The Greens were family friends for as long as I can remember, before I was born. And he was younger than me, so he's one of the younger brothers that I knew from this family. And we don't know what happened, and we're still trying to get some information, but that's a hard question to ask. But him and his family meant enough for me to say it on here that I gotta give a rest in peace to my brother Asif Green. Yeah. So Pops, I was gonna do this, and then I thought, oh, I don't know if Pops knows, so I hope I didn't spring it on you. I'm quite sure Brooke or somebody told you about this already, but yeah, this happened, and it looks like it happened a few days back, because they're already got a GoFundMe and stuff up. So yeah, if I get any more information, Pops, I'll definitely let you know. But rest in peace, my brother, Asif Green. Sorry to end it on that, but I had to shout that out, man. You know, that's family, friends from way back. And just a reminder: live alive with one another. We don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. Find some joy, live alive. Let's make that the most important thing happening.
While you can.
There you go. With that, we're going to get out of here. We will see you on Friday. Shout out to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you and allowing us for you to record, for letting us record you when you speak. Let me start putting that in there, because we're going to have to do all these oral histories, man, big time. And I shout out to you, the chat chimers. Appreciate everybody who came in today and had great questions and comments, and just finding space to be able to get together with each other and keep thinking about it. Yeah, man. Pop says his dad was my best friend, and I knew him before he was even married. Yes, I just found out too. Yeah. That's rough. All right. Appreciate you. Oh, RG says I'm going to be back in Des Moines, fellas, and we're going to be best behavior on Friday. I heard that. Good luck to you, brother, on your strongman event. And it's a joy to see you out there performing that as well, man. I appreciate that you're dedicated to what you're doing there. It's always good. It's always a good thing. So with that, thank you guys very much for allowing us to speak with you for this 3 hours, and we'll see you on Friday. Take care of yourselves. Find some joy. Be happy. Stay well. Drink water. Stay out of the rain.
Man.
And, we'll see you. We'll see you Friday. Peace. Peace.
Man.
Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the Red